No cussies! Hello. Oh, I think it's working. Pooping for Prime, or what is it? What was it?
Pooping forever.
Pooping forever. All right, you guys are now unmiked. All right, everybody's ready to go?
No.
All right, you are now officially unmiked. Yeah, so in case there's music in the
Hey,
background.
we're going up to 9 viewers.
Fire, ladies and gentlemen.
We just jumped up to 9 viewers.
Yeah. Hey, Pooping Forever, thanks for subscribing with Prime. I feel that. Yay. Hi, Jake.
Coming at you live.
All right.
Do 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 do.
Okay, let's
I'm pulling up
the
my
mic
document.
or the mouse.
The mouse.
The moose.
The mooses.
All right, let's do that. Hey.
Look at my hand. I'm a hand model now.
Yeah.
Hey.
Why is it backwards? This is unfortunate. Oh God,
It's
now I'm
backwards
in.
because it's
I-
mirrored.
It's upside down.
I'm on camera now. This is weird.
All
It's on
right.
my face.
This is great.
Is this possible?
Jacob just starts sweating.
Profuse sweating.
Oh God.
Just. What do I do?
Oh no! What do I do with my hands?
There's that. I have a laptop.
This is sponsored by Mountain Voodoo.
What, that's
As
all
opposed to
the,
everything
that's all
else
the
that we've
people.
ever done.
So
You do the voodoo that you do so well.
We should probably, like, make this bigger so that they don't need us.
you sure?
Yeah.
I mean-
we're just a couple slobs that don't know what the hell we're doing. We were grabbed from off the street and told that we had to paint judge. So
We are not
it's-
professionals at all.
No,
You're just
never.
flicking
I've never-
mouses around all over the
Flicking
place.
mice.
You've missed nothing.
Yeah, you've missed nothing.
Yep.
You missed
You
our
missed it
beautiful
all. The
mugs.
competition is over. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, it's
So
been real.
congratulations to that winner.
Thanks, bye.
So here's
I'm just.
here's what I have over here.
Yeah.
I've got a winner circle and entries. So we can
Oh, nice.
report everything down. So we just need to know who enters what, and then I can enter it into what category and do it. From
All
there.
right. Well, what category do you guys want to start with?
Let's start with mine.
Yeah.
Let's start with mine.
Oh, yeah.
So
Let's judge his non-dry brush
So-
hotness.
Judge, yet he be not judged. Cast the first stone.
what we're going to be doing here, just as a start, is I'm going. So I brought in an older mini of mine.
Introduce yourself.
Yeah, what's your name?
Oh yeah. I'm Alex Hunt. I'm otherwise known as the Painting Poobah.
What's pooping, gentlemen?
That's popping, sir.
I
Popping.
read pooping.
I've been a commission painter for a number of years, as well as winning a couple 3 awards, and somehow people think that I deserve to be up here. So I'm also the head of hobby at the Renegade Open and through the Renegade Group. And then Jake, why don't you introduce yourself here?
Hi guys, you recognize me as the guy who cusses way too much on stream. I, for some reason, I'm getting tossed on and doing paint judging. I paint guard, kinda. Also, I do painting commissions with Alex sometimes, and then also, I am one of the other people in the hobby team for Renegade Open.
Yep.
I paint stuff sometimes.
Sometimes. And then Bert is over here. Bert, can you describe why you're here?
What do you do here?
What would you say
Me?
you do here?
Not much. You know, I kind of mess around. I eat out of the dumpsters
Okay.
and clean the bathrooms.
That makes a
That's
lot of
pretty much
sense.
it. So,
What's Jake doing here? I don't even know, man.
He's paint judging is what he's doing.
Some reason people took me off the street and figured that I could judge, and If you can't do judge, I guess.
Yeah. If you can't paint, judge, and if you can't judge, well, fuck you.
This might be a loud pop here.
Who led him amongst civilization? That's a good question. I have chosen today to make myself everyone else's problem.
It's true. So just to kind of run through what we're going to be doing, we're going to be taking each category in turn and then doing judging on those. And describing who entered it in, what the model is, and then go through and do some critiques as well as high points and kind of where we can go for improvements. We will be announcing the winner tomorrow, or winners for each category. You can pick up the models this afternoon, probably around afternoon sometime. Just to kind of go through what we're along with that, I brought in, like I said, a model of my own to kind of demonstrate what the judging process is going to look like, and kind of give an example of how we're going to go through the process of it. So this is an older model, so I have again, like I said on the Discord, every painter is their own harshest critic. So never be afraid to have things judged. But that is where we're going.
It's a solid 7.
It's a solid 7, yeah.
Yep.
So kind of going through, I'm gonna have to adjust this mic because it just doesn't get close enough to the model to really take a good look at it. Yeah. Jacob, why don't you kick us off and kind of describe? This is a Wraithseer model.
So it's one of the few Eldar that is a Forge Room model still. Eldar Wraithseer. Basically, think a Spirit Seer and in a Wraith body.
Yeah.
I mean, I've known he's had this for a long time. Apparently, it's the Boomerang army now at this point. But I mean, it for looking at this one, at least for generic judgments, there's a couple of sections where it's like, look at that wash over there, buddy.
Yeah, you can see there's a fair amount of like overwash in areas. Well, here let's start off with what's really good. So there's conversion work on it.
Good stuff about this.
Yeah, there's conversion work on the blade. The positioning of the knee. You can't do that with because it's a Wraith Lord body that has to be done. Has to have it done with. So the knee is a complete conversion. The
cannon on the arm is, I'm pretty sure. Well, it's supposed to be on there. I think.
No, it's on there, but like the little extra fiddly bits are modified too. The color palette is really smooth. Other than
Eandon, right? Or is this?
No, that's actually
Eandon's a yellow one.
Eandon's yellow, yeah. I'm trying to. Ulthwé, it's an Ulthwé color palette. So there, the gem work is decent. The greens are consistent. The color palette across the model is consistent as well. So, it's got some. It has a fair amount of work put into it for sure, and you can kind of see that. Also, the weathering with the powders at the bottom matches well with the basing, so it feels like it definitely feels like it matches the environment that it's standing on. So
Pooping Forever, that's actually something that's on there. It's definitely one of my favorite things too, because you can tell that the rest of it's kind of more matte, but then you get to the face shield and the gems and it comes off more of a gloss. Definitely really helps it to pop.
There's actually on one side there's a little crack of freehand where it looks like the glass has been cracked a little bit. You might have to turn it. Yeah, there you go.
And then also beep.
Yeah. So little additions there that help kind of pull it out. Things that could be improved on for sure.
The base.
The base. He really likes to.
I am super hefty about bases, man.
Yeah.
Like one more layer of extra dry brush and suddenly this base really pops.
Yeah, something that elevates it from kind of a basic brown, kind of a brown mix to elevate it and pick out some of those edges would really make it nice and pop. I do like the tufts on there. They feel like they match well with the environment that they sit in. But yeah, like the gravel and the cork that are on that base really feel like they could use a little more.
And I mean, that's a super basic thing. I mean,
Yeah.
No pun intended. Another thing that I want to kind of point at is the cabling on the back of the Lance Glaive. Turn the music down a little bit.
Okay. And if I can find out which one that is.
It's probably 2.
No. Yeah. Yeah. Is it?
It's hard to hear me. No one ever has said that before in my life.
Yeah.
There we go.
There.
I'm also purposely sitting a little bit farther away from the mic because of, I have a loud, booming voice.
So, definitely like what you pointed out before. The
Beep.
I'm sorry. Continue on with your critique of the
My rant.
of your rant.
Basically, it just feels like it's could be. Yeah, I know. There we go. It could be just a little bit more, like an extra layer of highlight could really make it pop. Also, the blade on the glaive kind of is a little bit more basic.
Yeah, the blade definitely needs more like edging to make it pop. Kind of separate out some of those components, other than just a glow effect, because you can tell it was kind of just dry brushed and then, or not dry brushed, airbrushed and then slapped with a gloss. Same with the shield over here.
Yeah,
it needs that extra level to kind of elevate the model overall.
I think
so.
if it was a little bit more consistent, like if the shield had the same kind of like glossy effect as the sword did, it would really make it pop.
Yeah,
I like the shield better than I like the sword, mostly because it's just it helps it to kind of pick out the points.
Yeah, especially when you have those raised areas. So that just that's an example of what we're going to kind of go through and have the time to do. So my model's crap. So we'll start with the sci-fi mini category and then go from there. So this is the sci-fi miniature singles. So if you want to, we were going to have Bert in here helping carry things, but
Yeah, he's got shop stuff to do.
He's busy.
I will choose to take the mantle of
Okay.
delivering the models, and I'm just of course going to smack the camera.
Yeah. So I'm gonna kind of shift myself here so I can get a little bit closer.
What do we want to start with first?
Just the sci-fi minis right there.
Do you want me to grab all of them and bring them over?
Yeah, grab a couple, grab all of them. Either way. Oh, that. Yeah, it's right here. It's right there.
This is
Of course, I need to. Either way. So just to. Oh, here's Bert.
Just sagging on your job, Bert.
I had a job.
Yeah,
Running a guy all dang store.
You're the mini guy.
I need to know each.
Just because I'm small doesn't mean I'm a mini guy.
I need to know entries and names and things like that.
All right.
Categories and all
So
that.
that right there, what are we doing first? What's the first category?
Sci-fi.
Sci-fi single.
Okay.
And then how many we got? We got 2, 3.
There's
4,
3 more after this, so 8.
6, 7, 8. Okay.
Nope.
Okay, so hey,
9.
Bobby and Sammy, thanks a lot, you joiks. But what they did is they entered in 2 tech priests, and they said that they're not going to tell anyone whose is whose. So 1 tech priest is Sammy's, 1 tech priest is Bobby's. They thought it'd be funny, and I think it is hilarious. So
Can I
I'm glad
guess
they did it.
which one is which?
Yeah, I know whose is whose.
I'll figure it out.
It's not funny.
I harassed Bobby until he told me yesterday. Yeah, I have everybody's name. I have everything written down. So.
All right. I'm just entering it into the old computer box here, so we can get that going. Yeah, I guess we can start off with this. Yeah.
Yeah, some of that stuff is like, I made Kyle paint his base last night. He wasn't going to paint his rim of his base.
Kyle
And I was like,
Donovan?
orcs, yeah.
What a nerd.
I know. I was like, you better paint that
Wait,
base.
which one's Kyle's?
Yeah, don't you gotta paint the base.
Skaven.
Oh, of course it's a Skaven.
So just as a shameless plug.
Are you
as
doing
well.
sci-fi right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as a shameless plug, so I can get this in here, we're gonna have a painting class next Saturday. back to basics. So if you, even if you're a good painter or you consider yourself a really good painter, like show up and show stuff off, hang out. We're going to be going over just everything from the basics to the to a little more advanced, so that we can work it up. We have a bunch of models from Menkes, actually, that he donated a bunch. I think it's Menkes.
Yeah.
Donated a bunch of 3D printed dwarves that look freaking sweet. So we'll be able to go through and get those primed and clean them up and make them look awesome, ready to go for all that. Ready to go for. All right.
So I heard from Kelsey through the grapevine that this is actually painted by the gentleman who got her first into miniature painting.
His name is Chris.
Chris.
Okay.
Hi, Chris. We were chatting about Guard before we came in here, and I was forced to do job
Yeah.
that I'm not being paid for.
Yep. That's correct.
Also, Sammy, it's not funny. I will figure out which one is which.
I think it's hilarious.
It is pretty funny.
I mean, you know.
Nok dead.
All right. So going through, this is whose mom is this?
So this is Chris.
Chris.
Chris. All right.
Flannel Chris.
What's okay, cool. And what is it? A Bulgren?
It's Nork Deadog. Get it right.
Nork Deadog.
Nork Deadog. He's the named Ogren that they have in the Guard Codex.
Okay, cool. Nice.
Yeah, one of my favorite characters in the book.
Looking at it just as an overall, the edge highlighting is actually really good on the gun. Like you can definitely tell that it has a lot of care done for like around the rivets.
Yeah.
And especially the commissar hat. Looks really solid
Do
in
you
there.
wish to take a closer look, sir?
I would actually.
Do it.
So,
Yeah, Nork is one of my favorite models of all time. Mostly because the old one was super derpy, and then they come out with this one that is just a gem of a sculpt.
the one thing that really pops out to me, and I think is a major highlight of this model, is the skin tone. It's really well done. Like the blending on it's really good. You can tell that he has stubble. You can tell where he's kind of been cut, and it's a little more raw. Definitely has a really solid feel to the skin.
Mm-hmm.
There are patches on it where it feels like it's a little inconsistent, especially over on like below the arm over here as opposed to over here.
Right.
The face though is really good. So is the eye. Like that really captures it well.
I feel like the different parts where it's a little bit more choice is also might be a stylistic choice, if nothing else.
Yeah, I mean that could be very true. Yeah, get in there. There we go. You can tell that there was the stylistic choice too is, just looking between the two arms is what I'm meaning.
Yeah, that's fair.
Something that is nice is the gold trim on this is really good.
Yeah.
However, I would say that I kind of wish the green was had a little bit more of a sheen or a highlight on it.
Somebody just followed. Spider Bro, thank you for following.
Oh man,
Thanks, Booter.
thanks, Booter.
Can you give me the mouse?
Yeah, that's all you. If you can.
A mouse was a German tank in World War II.
Was it?
They only made 2 of them because it was huge.
The huge mouse.
It was huge.
The edge high, like on the green, on the green armor especially, I really want there to be more of an edge highlight, something to make it pop because it looks really flat, as opposed to the rest of the armor, which is rest of the armor and rest of the model. It has a bunch of highlighting on it. I feel like that, and then the pants actually are a cool color, but it looks like it's just kind of like a 1-2 punch of highlight or layering, and then a wash on top of it. So it just, I kind of want it to be a little bit more of a step up. The shirt underneath though is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Like that looks really, really cool.
Yeah, that pops really well.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to kind of disagree with you on the armor. I think the armor is actually fantastic because it feels like it has more character as a guardsman should. It's olive drab, and we all know how consistently, they just pump out armor, copies and copies and copies of armor. It feels like it tells a story with just the fact that The gun's amazing. The knife is amazing because he's had this gun for ages and ages. But the armor, it feels like more just this is a copy reproduction of like everyone else's armor.
That's fair.
That they pump out.
That's fair.
So while I enjoy the idea that they should have more edge highlighting, it does tell a story with it not having, too much poppage.
And you can also play with different styles of sheen. So having it be a little bit more of a matte versus a shine on like the gold as well could be something that could separate it too.
That's fair.
So I actually think that the knife needs a little bit more, like an extra little bit of edge highlighting to pick out some of the sharper points because it feels a little, at least from my angle, it feels a little.
I mean, honestly, with the way that the wash kind of hit that, it almost feels like it's Damascus.
Yeah, it kind of does. It needs a little bit more though for me for that. But
Yeah, that could have been a really neat stylistic choice too, doing a Damascus sheen on a knife blade. That would be super
that would
sweet.
be really cool.
Yeah,
So,
I love the skin,
No,
the
this-
eyes, the face. It really just
fantastic.
pops.
yeah, it's really good. All right, who do we got next?
Dog.
Thank you, by the way, Chris,
So-
for entering that in because it's super nice.
Yeah.
We have that one's Bobby's.
Yeah.
So one of these is Bobby's too.
Should we do the two of them and then
We can-
say
we can
which
do the
one's
twins.
Bobby's? Yeah.
Hold on, I need to look. You can tell a lot by a painter by looking at their paint style. So, but here we'll
Yeah.
do this is Bobby's.
This one is Sammy's. This one is Bobby's. I'm not surprised.
Let's see.
It might be the other way around.
I think it's the other way around.
Yeah. I was looking at it mostly because there's, a little bit more like
No, I think this one's Bobby's.
yeah.
I think this one's Bobby's.
Yeah. I suppose Sammy actually used his wash.
Bobby's out there, by
He's
the way.
screaming at us right now from the other way.
Oh, he's screaming with tears in his eyes and the ferocity. in
I
his
didn't
belly.
get it right.
All right, so
Because I don't care. It's Abmec.
Well, I think the real one that he put in was the Tau was Bobby's.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then
he
the
was.
goof around one from Sammy and Bobby were
So-
the tech priests.
Bobby, yell from the next room. Which one is it? Is it the one on the left or is it the one?
Is
on
it
the
one
right?
with the blue gun or the non-blue gun?
Yeah.
Non-blue, I think, is Bobby's. It's a delay.
Yeah, it's
is a delay.
super delicate. That's why I'm putting support on it so it doesn't get dropped or at all. You've had to glue this on twice already? Jeez Louise, dude. Pin this crap at that point.
It's a really fiddly bit for pinning.
Yeah, that's kind of the reason. One of the reasons why I stopped.
The blue gun or non-blue gun?
It's this one. Yep, it's this one. The one I'm holding.
Yep, that one's Bobby's.
The one without any lighting. What?
Yeah, this one. This is Bobby's.
Oh,
So I did get it light. You can tell.
you
with
got
his-
it light. Not right.
You can tell with the.
There's a pun because there's a lot of light on
Yeah.
him.
You can tell with the brush style on the cloak versus on Shadow Sun.
That's fair.
Hey, we got another follow.
Hey, Torziger.
All right, Bobby, get this out of here. It's done.
Abmec go pew.
All right. Well, we still have to judge this one because that's
do we-
Sammy's, right?
I mean, is this actually Sammy? Did you actually?
Yeah,
submit
Well,
this
it's
one?
here.
That's
It's
Sammy's.
in.
Yep.
It's
Okay,
in.
well, I'm gonna put this one over here so
Alright.
that we can judge it appropriately.
All right. Let's see here.
It's a Shadow
It is
Sun.
a Shadow Sun if I can get it.
Yeah, that was my one problem because the axes are wrong. I always hated
Yeah.
doing the inverted ones in video games as a kid, so it's like.
So the Shadow Sun, you can tell right away that the stylistic choice is kind of that dirty, that vibe of like rushed, almost anime style. I would say it has like a lot of brushstroke character to it. Which
Yeah,
is,
it really does.
Cool.
Great pose too.
Yeah,
It looks
great pose.
Awesome.
Yeah, I don't think it originally. Well, it originally comes like that, but it doesn't. It's not sitting on the rocks like it is. I think. In this
Yeah,
one.
no, she's.
I mean, it might.
Maybe it probably. Yeah,
I'm not a
To
big
be
fan
honest,
of
it's-
Lycan either, and that Lycan is awesome on there.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
been a while since I've seen a Shadow Sun baseline, so I'm very excited to see one
Mm-hmm.
painted up.
Yeah, the glow effect is really cool on it too. So it definitely captures the feel of that, you know, like glow effect and such. There's a little bit of freehand over here that pops out.
Yeah.
It'll be on YouTube, Menkes.
Yeah, the golds are really nice. They're consistent around the model, so that's really good.
Yep.
The hair is a nice pop out for it being red because that's Shadow Sun. I mean, the skin tone is really excellent too.
Yeah, she's a ginger, of course,
Yeah.
in canon, so it's kind of weird.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you know, the skin tone for her face and then the hair is really good. So you know,
It definitely pulls the eye into it.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
the rest of it, you know, not necessarily as a bad thing, kind of doesn't really, you know, stand out as much as the
Yep.
hair. But that's where you want all the attention to go anyways, so it makes a lot of sense.
Yep. All right. So I'm gonna point out the big
Judgment.
the judgment item. This mold line right in here.
Oh my god, of course he's going to pick off the mold line.
It's like a gap. You have a gap all the way around.
I know, but you should hear him
All
when
the
he's
way
doing
around.
other painting competitions. It's got a mold line.
Line in there. Really,
Automatic fail.
really be careful with that mold line. With those gaps. Seal them up nice.
Yeah, I never liked it. I built models like this before Fusion blasters are always just super fiddly because it's two pieces that go flat together.
Yeah.
But one of them has the overhang, and it's just it's the worst.
Yep. Definitely where it can be improved is you can clean up some of the white. Because you can tell that it's a stylistic choice, especially looking at his AdMech model too. It's a style rather than it being like just dirty, but it could be cleaned up so that you get less of that noise, especially when you start adding in weathering or like dirt effects and things like that on the model. You want to make sure that you're separating that the feel between noise and what is the environment versus what is the armor itself. So and there's like a nice amount of battle damage on here. I having it cleaned up a little bit more would be great. The pooling on, it's kind of hard to see on this, but the pooling here, while the freehand that's on the ribbon pops out nicely, the pooling is inconsistent between the two. So if there was like pooling on this one and on this one, then it'd be okay. But because you have it on one versus the other, it just feels kind of like it's pulled up. So
Yeah, it kind of feels like they were Bobby was going for a more like kind of more of an comic book style for it.
Yeah.
Where if he would have made the edges a little bit sharper, with specifically like either a black ink or black edge highlight, it really would have popped quite a bit more.
Yeah, something with Vallejo makes a black ink. I'm trying to think of who else makes an actual black ink. All I can really think of is like Vallejo. You can grab like a Liquitex black ink as well, or a Dalarani. If you go to like Dick Blix, you can really get a lot of cool like inks there to pop it out. If you're going for like an anime style and you're looking for that brush, make sure all your brush strokes are in the same direction. That's a big kind of thing that I always directionality is really important, especially if you're doing streaking. That you want to make sure you capture. Otherwise, it just you can lose it really easily for it just feeling kind of muddled. So directionality is really important. Knowing where your light source is sitting. So if it's like directly above the model, you need your directionality to go one direction versus if you have it going another way, you'll pick up on that immediately. So.
I feel like also if you didn't want to go buy something from a super high-end hobby store, or if you wanted to just stay here, even like a Nuln Oil, like watered down just a little bit and just running it along where the cracks and the recesses are, would have helped it pop quite a bit more.
Yeah, you can always do like a small amount of wash and then add more, especially if it's watered down a little bit, to make something pop up a bit. Strong Tone from Army Painter is also really good for it as well. Adding in a little brown if you don't want to go black helps out a lot too. But
Even a dark gray.
Yeah.
Maybe a contrast paint might even help that pop a little bit more.
Yeah,
so
like
too.
a contrast paint might help too.
Yeah.
So. Anyway, no, excellent addition.
I like it.
I like it.
He was showing this off to me when I went over to his house a few weeks back, and just really excited about it. I was very happy with with Woody Weeze.
All right, so this is Illuminator Zero.
Yeah, of course, Mankus is like, I got a bail, and now we're gonna judge his model immediately.
Thank God.
I gotta say, I love this model. It's so vibrant and screams so loud.
Oh yeah.
Hey, look at me, I'm stealing the soul from this dude and putting it into a ball of rage and pain.
So right off the bat, I
Edge
love
crowns.
I love the color palette for it. The kind of matte gray with the orange is really excellent. In the brown tan, it really pops in to the model. I love that palette. The transition between like the blood and like guts and whatever like that into the ball that's sitting on the hand.
Soul energy.
Yeah. It really does exemplify like that effect of movement, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So this one's Mankus.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I got it down.
Sickdom.
That base looks great, Mankus.
Yeah. There's.
I haven't gotten to the critiques yet.
Oh, really?
No,
so
not
it's all
yet.
good still.
It's all good
Base
still.
looks great, Mankus.
It's sarcasm.
No
critique.
cussies.
Hey,
We got a subscription.
Spooter bro.
Spider Bro. All right.
Spooter man.
So, from a critique standpoint, I would say definitely the base. Oh, one other thing, the dude that's laying on the ground feels like a sister, and I'm in for it. Like it looks like a sister's model, and I don't know if it's.
No, that's
the original.
That's
Never
the
mind.
original
That's the
model.
original.
So I will tell a little bit about this one. The reason why he looks like a sister's model is because I think, if memory serves, he's supposed to be one of the navigators.
Oh, okay.
I think he's supposed to be one of the navigators. So he's essentially collecting psychic energy.
Okay.
Because the navigators are directly in tune with. Why do I keep getting 5 ads in a row?
I don't know.
Subscribe, nerd. That's how you stop getting 5.
I would say that
I don't even have ads on.
No cussies.
I love you
Hey, got a
too.
subscriber.
Hey,
Flat 2 and E2.
Dude, I gotta interrupt you guys. This is my favorite Necron model because I love how brutal it is and how it's literally sucking, it looks like it's sucking his soul out of his head.
Yep.
I love it so much. It's like the epitome of Necrons.
No, there's so much movement in this model,
Yeah.
which is really a nice juxtaposed to what they normally have, which is
that
very static.
Rebar, is that part of the kit? Okay.
It's part of the kit.
It's part of the kit. So it's got rebar and essentially like a metal girder that it's standing on over
Yep.
concrete. The reason why it's sucking the soul out of his head is because the navigators have a third eye. That's their psychic mutation that they have, so that they could see into the warp. Apparently, the thing, if you stare into the eye, it just kills you. You dead.
It's good times.
They wear like a bandana to cover
Yep.
it.
So,
Judgments.
things to kind of improve on, I would say, is thin your paint. They
Too thin coats.
Too thin cones. There's areas on the model that definitely have like a nice smoothness to them, but then there's others where they're, you can definitely see the primer through it. The brown, while it's a nice like tan coat, it really could have used another layer, so that especially on this backside back here, because you can see some of the primer showing through, and it needs kind of that extra layer to get that smoothness. Same with the shoulder pad. Like the two shoulder pads are very wildly different in their application.
It could have used a second thin coat.
Yeah. And you can kind of get around that by doing a second thin coat, and then in those lines, if you want it to be black or have that nice etching effect, doing a watered down paint or wash to make sure that you can kind of fill those lines with capillary action.
Yeah, I don't think he actually did any washes on this one.
No, I don't think so. It doesn't look like it.
One thing that really could pop for me is the gems and the staff. So his eye, his gem on his grundle down here. Could have if he had gone and done a couple of extra layers. So he's got this great vibrant orange. Now maybe go for a lighter orange or even a yellow to kind of give it some depth to it too. Go over it with a carb or a crimson to give it more of a wash tone to it. And then really it would just pop.
Yeah.
And he could also do the same thing on the staff because it could theoretically be the same type of energy. But like more of like an edge highlight for it, and then like this staff ball down here.
Doing the same, yeah.
Yeah, just like bringing it up to the next. I mean, of course, there's our tagline, the next level.
Yeah, bring it up to the next level. Just a little bit more.
Just a little bit more.
You can always improve on your painting. You can always improve on what you're doing and how you're doing it. So never feel like you're just kind of stuck in a single rut or a stylistic choice. Experiment and play around with it, but make sure that you're doing consistent paint layers.
Yeah,
so.
Baseline, I know Alex, spouted this off at the beginning, but this is never to be, taken as we're, downtrodden on you. We're willing to work with you and help you to get to the next level. And
it's all constructive criticism.
It's all constructive criticism. We're just trying to get you and say, hey, these are things that you could do in the future, and never take it as, ill. This is all meant to be supportive.
Yeah, help us help you.
Help us help you.
All right. Well, cool. What about the next one? What have we got next?
I mean, should we do Jake's or should we judge Bert's? I think we should judge Bert's mostly because
Bert's is good.
I mean, Bert Epperbaum. Mostly because he's a good friend of ours and we got to give him a whole lot of...
I love giving Bert a
whole lot of crap. Look at that base. Could have used an extra layer of dry brush.
Use an extra layer of wash.
Jake, you're next. Don't even say aw.
So
we're coming for you
right away. And we were commenting on this, looking at it. The blade pops. It feels so excellent, especially So I'm gonna point this out. Something that should be looked at is the color palette between all the models. So you can tell that there are opposing colors as well as contrasting colors for between green, purple, and orange or / yellow. They're all contrasting colors. It's a tricolor on the wheel.
It's been nice to see a bunch of contrasting paint colors too for everybody. Honestly, when we were looking at all of the paint choices,
like green and red are contrasting. You can do it. I mean, there's plenty of videos online that tell you how to do color wheel theory and all that kind of jazz. So it's something to look at. But this is like a great example of looking at a color wheel and picking out the colors that you want to use. So. The cape is really good. The blade is really solid. The edging on the armor is amazing.
Yep.
It definitely feels unique and feels cool.
Definitely pops super well, and I very much got to watch him do some of this. Bert and I play D&D on Sundays every other Sunday, and I got to see him work on some of it. So it's super fun to see the edge highlighting and stuff really just kind of coming together to be that point.
Yeah.
Of course, Bert does, commission painting and stuff too, so we like to judge him nice and harshly. Yeah, flip the model over. I want to take a look at the back of the cape because that's. So flip the model over.
Yeah, flip the model. Look at that. That's great.
Ooh.
Okay. Cool.
Cool.
All right. Hey, so it's hard to. I mean, it's a freaking gorgeous model. Something that also something to consider is high-end model judging. You go through and instead of picking out what's good about the model, you pick out what's bad about the model, and you work backwards. Everybody has a perfect score, and then you work back.
The base is meh.
Yeah. So just keep that in mind. Also, if you're ever like, oh man, I wonder if they're gonna pick apart this model in painting, flip it over and look at it from the underside, because we will do that. And every paint judge will do that. They'll look at it from the underside.
Paint the undersides of your tanks.
Yeah, paint the underside of your tanks, for the love of God. So yeah, the base is kind of meh. It needs a little more to pop out. If he had a little bit more of the gray dust on his shoes, maybe that would help. Kind of put him into the scene. Even like a nice skull or a small thing would be nice.
He's even got overbleed on the shoe on the inside, where it goes over under the glue.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. That can be a problem too.
And the cape.
Glue it down. Really?
Yeah, it's on the cape too, on the way inside.
Oh, look at that. Yeah.
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 We only got to see this model from inside of the case, so we didn't get to just chew it apart like we usually do.
Yeah. So, it looks like he's got some green down there, where you can see it. Sorry, took it off camera. I had to get a closer look.
Yeah. Also, it looks like he has cherries all over himself. They're not gems; they're cherries.
They're nice little cherries.
Cherry.
I will say that like the blade is really cool. I love the blade. The consistency between it is really good. On one side of the blade, it's a little bit more blocky than the other.
He missed a couple of gems up on top.
However, those ones aren't necessarily gems. They could just be components on Eldar.
They should be gems.
Yeah. The one thing that I was pointing out to Jacob earlier about it is the cape needs a little bit more from the standpoint of down here. Over on this side, going into the ridges and grooves, it definitely feels proper, but over here it feels a little blocky. It doesn't have the nice blend. Let's see if we can get that.
Camera focus.
It doesn't have that nice blend, so it goes from that really light purple to the really dark purple too quickly, and it doesn't have a nice blend up. So the I had something else that I had in mind when I was picking it out. There's bleed on some of the gems onto the armor, where it feels like it is just kind of got a little dusty, a little too dusty down, and it kind of bled over onto the armor from the gems.
There's also one thing that I wanted to point out that you didn't notice. There's inconsistencies on the leather.
Oh, are there?
So on this side, you see that there's nothing really painted there, but if you flip it over the other way, this is supposed to be leather.
Oh, true. Yeah, you're right.
Yep. So it's really it doesn't keep consistency.
He's missing some leather on the inside. Yeah,
Yep,
no,
that's
I
what
see
I was
where you're
pointing
getting
at.
Yeah, because there's the kind of
other
loincloth area that connects with the cloak, but then the leather bits that go into hold his chest armor on.
Same side on the same thing on. Oh no, that's the same side.
Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of a bummer being that you're trying to like view the camera and then also view the paint critics here just because. So
yeah, and I think that's a good point. Pooping forever. I'm never going to stop saying that name. It could be a choice for a light source if they're looking at it from above and pointing down, which it fits. I totally understand that.
But if that was the case, then this should be a lot brighter than it is a lot brighter than this area. Sorry, it is a lot brighter. However, it doesn't blend nicely because then you should have it be where this is more in the shadow down here, and it should fall all the way down.
Yep.
Rather than it just being like fluttering against the wind over here. Like this shouldn't be lit then. It should be in the grooves and on the cloak itself like that. Because if you're looking at it from directly up top, you should see where your highlights and shadows are, and they're not necessarily consistent with that either. So a good way of thinking about it is view your light source and know what your light source is, so that you can consistently do that. So excellent work, Bert.
Yeah, and I mean that's also something that I've always fought with too. But then again, I always paint 300 conscripts, and that's my consistency.
Cool. All right, who's up next?
Jake. Let's do Jake because I promised him that we would do Jake's next.
It's time.
I enjoy the peas. He's got the big chonky boy, the greeny boy. Do you actually use peas? Or are these beads? They look like peas.
I hope they're not peas.
I mean,
That'd be
peas.
Truly Nurgle.
Nurgle.
Do you say this is Jake?
Yeah.
Jake, all right.
The other Jake. Oh yeah, it's a Lord of Contagion.
Oh yeah, Lord of Contagion's always a classic model. It's really cool. It's got
Half-cut crystal. Okay.
Crystal. Sweet. All right.
Yeah, dude, they look like peas.
Yeah, they do. Which is gross enough where I'm like, ugh.
It fits. I mean, especially like if you look down here with the Nurgling that's coming up under his foot, it feels just like it pops.
Oh yeah, the resin on the base too just really feels good.
Yeah, chef's kiss on that.
Yeah, it's gross. It's gritty. Having the effect of
gurgly swamp.
the flock going into and being wet with the resin also really fits well. So excellent job with that because it actually feels like it's sopping wet and gross and grimy.
I also like, and this is just more of a stylistic choice for me who likes using washes as much as I do. Alex will attest that washes are my bread and butter. The way that the wash is settled on the axe would usually feel like too much. like over washing it, and then they're kind of come and get into weird spots. But on a model like this, it fits, and it feels good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could see into the swamp on the side, because that's what resin. That's what you can do with resin and stuff. It actually looks even better on top, because you could actually look into it and see the depth. But where it usually would be too much wash, again, one of the main reasons why Nurgle models are so fun to paint is because it just fits. It fits for it exactly. I very much appreciate like the way that, and I don't know if this is intentional or not. Jake, you can comment, but the way that down here on the bottoms where the cloak hits and the wash kind of just settled right there. I don't know if you did that on purpose or not, but I like it. Also the smoke. I am very much a keen part of the smoke. Although I do hint I would maybe go for more of a mustard gas, because I like mustard gas.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. But the way that it's like more of a grayish, brownish black really sits in there really nice, and it
Oily.
just oily. Also, dude, the horn. I'm very much key with the horn. You're making washes work super well.
Yeah.
Which always is one of those things that I try to do, but I can't quite do it because I just wash everything.
Just remember that if you're dealing with washes, you have to be careful to not just leave the wash trying to do all the work and heavy lifting, because it will pull a model down in color and palette. You need to bring it back up, or at least pick out points that you can do so either by stippling or by dry brushing or by layering on top of it. You want, or you can do it, like pinpoint areas with wash. You just want to be careful with it, because it will dull out a model, and you can definitely tell when something in Army has just been washed. It has a single layer and then it's got wash over it, because it just kind of pulls the entire model down towards dull.
Yep. Pulls you down to its level in B2 and experience, as Mark Twain would say.
Yeah. So, yeah, it looks really good.
The sludge boy down on the bottom, I'm going to keep pointing at, because he makes me happy.
I will say some of the critiques on it. The green armor, it suffers from that wash, the wash effect.
Yeah, that's the other thing that kind of sits with it. If it would have been, going over it again with an edge highlight, picking out the points where it's like down here on the bottom where the shin joint meets to the boot, I think that would really benefit from another edge highlight going over it. With it looking gross and like the way that the wash settled in, that's totally fine. But I think that if you would have done that, it would have made it pop a lot more. Also, there's a joint.
Yeah. The cloak definitely suffers from the wash effect too, where you kind of want to pull it back up. Something that you can do to kind of, like I said, is stipple, because stippling is just a stabbing motion with a brush. To kind of give an example, it's basically you're taking your brush and you're taking paint on it, and then you're stabbing it into the surface, and you're doing it very lightly. You can also do like small dots with a single brush, but typically it's like take a dry brush, make it a little wetter than you normally would for dry brushing effect, and then you want to stab it into the surface of the model, and it'll pick up all those highlight areas, and kind of leave a cool texture to it. It can give you some texture, it can give you some nice effects overall. So something to consider.
These are things that you can learn from the Alex Hunt painting class on Saturday, October 30th.
Yeah, October 30th. That should be good.
Yeah.
So anyway, excellent model. I think it's well done.
Really appreciate it, Jake. I think definitely coming from like the beginning of seeing your painting stuff, it really is super sweet to watch.
Heck yeah.
The levels.
Keep it up, man.
Levels.
All right, who do we got next?
Do we want to judge Sammy and go for it, or do we want to judge Michael Lonetti? Loneth?
I don't care.
Lone Boy?
Lone Boy. This is Michael.
This is Michael.
Michael.
He's got that Primaris chopper around. I like this. This is just one of my favorite models because it really reminds me of like the old anime Gungrave.
Oh yeah.
Because the cloak and everything, just if he had a hat, good to go.
Edgy boy. Kind of thing, yeah.
The edgiest of boy.
Yeah.
starting off, I really just the base feels like it's. Yeah, of course I'm gonna keep teasing you, Sammy. Shut up, Overdale. The base really is just it says something, and I think it's kind of neat because it's like it's kind of a tease to it too. You got your super gritty marine and this happy-go-lucky stroll through a nice park.
Yeah.
It feels like it's
Yeah. The flowers.
Yeah.
I always love flowers on bases. They do so well. The black is actually like multiple shades. It's not just a one color of black, which is always good. It has some variation, some gray on it. The cloth is really well done too. It feels like it's a little bit more gritty. It's not just flat white. The skull and such feels really skull-ish. A lot of the small details are actually painted really well. Mm-hmm. So that kind of pick out is really good.
One thing that I wanted to point to is that the armor now. Alex and I have hopped on this tangent several times before, not necessarily here, but contrast paints is not to be, dissuaded or gone against.
Yeah.
The armor being contrast paints makes it really pop super well, and I enjoy it for what it is, because you can tell it's more contrast paint, but it gives it depth.
Yep.
And if that's the way you want to rock and roll something, you keep on doing it, because you can make contrast paints work for you super well.
Yep.
I joke too, making washes my B word, because I'm trying not to cuss. But you can do the same thing with contrast paints and make it pop super well.
Yeah.
And I like the way that he went about this with the armor and stuff. You could tell it's a lot more in depth on the front rather than the back, but that's my.
I will say it's kind of like anything that you do.
It does Blade.
Yeah.
I like that too, because it's almost got like the way that the contrast paints I go about. If you look at it, like the way that we're looking at it, it looks gray. When I point to it like this, it looks green, and I like that too.
Yeah. I'll get on my soapbox for a minute. Having contrast paints or the new Army Painter paints that'll be coming out here soon. It's not a replacement for painting, or it's an additional tool that you can use to increase or speed up your painting. It doesn't necessarily mean that you can be lazy about it. Mm-hmm. It's just like an airbrush doesn't mean that you've solved all your problems with an airbrush. It's a tool in your arsenal for painting. You will use it. It elevates your speed to a point where you can then go back with a brush and exemplify things and pick out small details quicker. So, I'll get off my soapbox there, but it's like everything is a tool to be used for your modeling, but it's never a replacement for something even basic. I still use dry brushing, and it's it's a basic technique, and you should use, and after you learn a technique, learn it well, improve upon it, and then never forget it.
Yes.
So
dry brushing is my bread and butter. And by the way, to hop back on the airbrushing soapbox, because there's 21 people here, please give Bert more crap about cleaning out his airbrush.
Yes, please, for the love of God.
Yeah,
it hurts my soul.
The moment that Alex walked in here, he was like, I wonder if I want to actually look in here and look at the cap. It just no, he didn't want to, but he did.
I didn't want to.
But
stared into the abyss, and the abyss stared back.
Yeah, it's black, darker than black.
Yeah. So some things that I can just see right off the bat: the gun on one side, the
eagle.
The eagle is not painted. The gun barrel isn't painted. There's a bit of overhang for the purple onto where the metal is for the gun. Be careful with that. Make sure that you're cleaning up your tightening and cleaning up your bits so that they're clean. You definitely want to have separation between the gun casing, because on the gun, it looks really good.
Yes.
But on the other side, it needs more. So just be careful with that. In addition, a little bit of highlighting would be really good. Popping out, cleaning up the seam line on the inside would be really. I'm big on seam lines. A rule of thumb that you can kind of utilize is if you can run your fingernail over an area, and you can feel it with the fingernail, it will show up on paint.
It will.
If you can't, then you're pretty well set. So just as kind of that rule, and you can put things in there to kind of clean it up. So like even a gloss varnish or a can be used to fill in small cracks. Otherwise, green stuff, Milliput. You can actually mix some Milliput with isopropyl alcohol, and it'll make this nice thin thing that you can use a brush on and put it into a crack, and it'll fill it in. So something that can be utilized for that. So
one other thing that I wanted to kind of point at, and this is just, my OCD brain is just like, hey. So there's on the book where the binding is. I love the way the leather kind of turned out, but there is, like a metal clasp supposed to be in the middle. Mm-hmm. And that's just like the one thing where it's like, okay, there could have been one more detail picked out about it, but that's not necessarily, too much to gripe at. It's just like, it feels like if it would have been one more thing. Yep. Also, your chaplain does not have his purity seal marked in the proper red, sir. Must have that nice red wax seal on there.
Man, making the Emperor sad.
Yes, but I love how the skull turned out.
Yeah.
The skull and the Cruzius Arcanum.
Yeah.
Did you guys answer Neil there? He said, "Did you review my Toto yet?" That is in the fantasy line. We haven't gotten to that one yet.
Yeah, we'll get there eventually.
We actually, it's been an hour. We should probably speed things up.
Probably.
It's funny because when we talked about it yesterday, it's like it should take about an hour and a half to do.
We were like 40
We're in
minutes, like
sci-fi
hour.
right now.
Yeah, we're not even done with sci-fi.
Yeah.
So if you guys hear me go quiet, that's me popping in and out. We got a lot of customers out there, so I'm kind of doing double duty here.
All right. Should we do the next?
Yeah. Should we do Sammy? No, I think we should do Troy. Let's do Troy.
Okay, Troy. No, that's not the entry name. Troy.
Troy.
I'm gonna
Laser Pew.
Laser Pew.
The thing that makes me laugh about this is that yesterday everyone was getting on and getting gripey about the Silent King's little legs, and then here comes Big Gun Boy with the littlest legs. Just makes me laugh.
Y'all need Jesus.
Yep. Y'all need leg day.
Y'all need leg day.
You need swole Jesus.
I will point out that man,
Second Sam,
that gentleman that rolled out from the Silent King, he kind of went off, did his own thing, collected his thoughts, came back, and then he was like, "The heck is all this? What is going on?"
This is a kit bash?
Yeah, it is. This gun is from the
Annihilation Barge.
No.
Or
it's
not
from the longer ones.
The crazy doomsday weapon is.
Yeah. It's cool. I love this conversion. It's so over the top and so ridiculous.
It's
and it's
Necrons.
so amazing.
It feels Necron-y.
It feels Necron-ish, like War of the World kind of thing. Which this model just screams War of the World. It's great.
Yeah.
So the conversion work is really cool. It doesn't feel over out of place either. It feels definitely within the model, which is something that conversions can really suffer from.
Doomsday Arc, thank you.
Yeah, Doomsday Arc.
Doomsday.
Is they don't feel within world, and they kind of just feel like they've been tacked on. That's kind of the worst thing you can do with a conversion. You definitely want it to feel like it's there. Like adding in some extra little here, I got this. Some extra little knobs or wires running to it would have really sold it. Like from back here or inside, and just running some wires up to somewhere would help. There's that old thing, seam lines. I'm gonna beat that horse until it's really dead.
He is.
So just be careful with those seam lines. The color palette is really cool. I always enjoy this model. It's so unique. So the green actually pops out really nicely against it, especially against the copper. Mm-hmm. So it feels very much like it catches the eye. It pulls you in.
It's not the bog standard silver Necrons that you get with it.
Not at all.
For when you really want to destroy it.
Yeah. So I'm really in for that. It's really cool.
Also, to point on, sorry to interrupt.
No.
When we were talking originally about contrast paints being used as a tool rather than just something to lean on, the orbs in the eyes all pop super well. Mm-hmm. So where it's got that natural kind of darkness to it, it feels like it was used to point towards this is an energy ball that is powering a giant doomsday gun.
Yeah.
It's one of those crazy things where it's just so bonkers that you can imagine. And of course, it's probably powered by souls or something else edgy like that.
No, I definitely like it. The The metal. So getting into some critiques here.
Critique.
The metals need something to kind of pop them. The coppers have some dry brushing so that they feel like they're kind of popping out and less just flat metallic. But the silvers need something that kind of do the same thing. You can tell that he washed it and then he definitely put some highlights on it, but it feels like there needs to be a little bit more there, or at least some separation.
Zoom out a little bit so we can
Yeah.
see the whole model in
Sorry.
all its resplendor.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's going to be more important when you get to the big,
Yeah,
the thick boys.
the thickums.
Thickums.
The thickums.
One
yeah.
thing that I wanted to point out too is if he would have gone and did the same thing with like the onks on this, but did it here.
Yep.
Where there's a part on the shoulder pad where it also has those kind of natural or unnatural, depending on how you look at it, bits that I think it would have just popped just a little bit more and pulled in the eye for it.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, I like how, like on the shoulder pads, it almost looks like he did an edge highlight.
Yeah, and I think that's the dry brush speaking to. It's a.
I love dry brush.
Yeah, there is this spot up here. That's like black. I don't know if I can capture that. But it needs a little more. It doesn't have a layering. I
see it.
So
Good idea. I know it's a good idea.
it'd be a good
It's
idea.
a good idea.
Definitely a solid start. You can definitely improve on this for sure.
I mean, to be
It's
honest,
excellent.
if you were looking at this dude in addition to an entire army worth
Yeah,
of guys, you would never be able to pick these out, and it would look super dope.
Yeah. By the way, anything that we're picking on, like, oh man, I gotta redo my entire army and I gotta just trash everything. Don't think that way. This is us picking apart a single model, because when you're looking at miniature painting for competition, you're looking at I'm dumping in as much time as it takes to paint an army into one model.
Yep.
And I'm thinking of the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. So don't take it like, oh man, I got to make all my army look absolutely gorgeous all the time for everything. It's like, no, you're putting in as much energy into one model as you do an army. So
Yep, definitely.
very cool model. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so next category. Don't have to worry about anything else. There's no more models to do.
No more models. Okay,
Next
that's
category.
too bad. Oh, I
Yep.
thought we had 8. Where's that 8th one?
We're supposed to, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Not this
7,
one.
8.
Not this
Oh,
one.
look at that. There's 8 models here. We don't have to do anything else.
Bobby shouldn't have put in 2.
Oh man, Bobby, what the heck?
All right.
Okay, judging Sammy's stuff.
Yeah.
Because I guess we have to.
Yeah. I mean, he paid money to do it, so
Only $5.
yeah. Well, it is what it is.
He gets a free paint pod if he
That's fair.
doesn't. So
Yeah, if you enter in, you get a free paint pot. Just remember that.
enter painting competitions, you get a paint pod. You're basically buying a paint pod.
Yeah. It's an expensive paint pot.
It's a GW
It's a
paint
GW
pod.
paint pot.
Yeah.
All right. Who do we got here? This is
Bobby's
Sammy?
Marshall.
Bobby's Marshall.
Or Sammy's. Sammy's Marshall, not Bobby's Marshall. Marshall McTeague.
All right. Well, I'll let you kick this thing off.
Yeah, so I have always loved AdMech models. Brother finally judging my model. Hut Twitch is making me watch an ad.
Feel bad about yourself.
So what you're saying is you should get, Prime and not have to worry about that. I really like the metallics. I can definitely tell that it's, a lead belcher and then more of a wash, but it fits.
Yep.
It's
Well-
actually how I also painted up my AdMech too when I painted them.
And like on the hands up here too, it's not just lead belcher and wash. It definitely has like highlight. On, it definitely has a highlight on top of it that it or at least the wash was thin enough that it pooled correctly, so it didn't just settle into all over and create a bunch of pools. It actually felt like it went into the recesses as it should.
Yeah, and that's something that I found consistently with, working with Agrax or Shade, which I'm pretty sure that this is
Yep.
what he washed in. It does that. But the skull is also super fun, even though apparently it keeps breaking off. The boy needs his daddy to follow around. I know you're going to gripe on this, but I like the way that the wash hits the cape. No, it needs more wash. Everything needs more wash and more dry brushing.
Yeah.
And if you don't do those, you're a chode.
You would say that.
Of course I would. The leather on the back too. I like
Yeah.
how it's a different color. It's not just like bog standard leather. It fits.
Yep. And actually, it's leather. It's not most people actually Yeah, most people paint that as silver, so I really like that you picked out the backpack as like a leather.
Well, this is actually, it's something that the Marshall has.
Okay.
It pops out like that. There's also a couple of Skitarii in the main kit that also have this more like leather-esque aspect to it. Disclaimer, I forgot. Yeah, I should be killing you inside. You should have done it.
Well, and
Look at that.
yeah, the mold line. Yeah, the mold line. Also, the wash pooling. If you want to make a model feel dirty, there's a lot of different ways that you can do it from effects and different paints.
Dry brush.
But you definitely want to place your model in the scene that it's supposed to be in. So the basing should be a little bit more rusty. It should be a little more red dust rather than it being kind of wet. So just keep that in mind. Washes are notorious for pooling. So if you want, you'd probably have to go through and do a dry brush or a stipple or a layer and try and like pull up the color to that. So
He has a clock on his crotch.
oh, if it would highlight or if it would
Yeah, come on, focus.
there you go.
He's got a Grundle clock.
A Grundle clock.
Yeah.
You did a great job putting effects on this. The glow that comes off of that gun is really cool. The copper that it has too is really nice. I like that there is patina, but it does need to be more broad. It feels a little too placed right now. It doesn't feel natural.
So
I guess is what I'm getting
don't
at.
feel rushed, guys. But I'm going to push you along a little bit here.
No.
We're
What?
into an hour, and we're in the first category.
Yeah. Well,
Hour and 11 minutes and almost 10 seconds. Sammy, I really like it.
Yep.
One thing that I
It's
would.
going to get to that point.
We're gonna go real fast now.
Thank you, bye.
Thanks, bye. Yeah, shut up, nerd. One thing that I think is another thing, the edge highlighting that could have been done on the chest piece. Really just kind of detracts it for me. Like on the legs, it kind of comes out naturally, but on the chest piece where you used what looks like Nuln Oil as a wash,
yeah.
could have also been done there.
So, but excellent work overall. Definitely has definitely has improvement that can be done, but it's a great tabletop piece for sure.
Yeah, GG, son.
Yeah.
Okay, now.
Apparently we're not moving fast enough for Bert.
He's setting up a table in
Yeah.
here, so we.
I'm going to take a nap because you've been taking so long.
Hey, you wanted this to be professional.
Yeah, we're doing this professionally,
Yeah, but you guys
sir.
know my professional level is...
Yeah, there's a reason why we're doing it.
Here, why don't you show me some models? I'm going to put them over on this
Okay,
table.
I'm gonna head into some models now. You can look at my arms and my dainty hands.
Beautiful arms.
So we're going to be moving on to the unit category because we have 2 entries into the unit category.
Pew pew.
Pew pew. We're going to be moving on to the we're putting him to sleep. Obviously, he was super excited until we started this, and then
We
he's
have
like, yeah, I gotta
18
go.
viewers, so hey, I'll take it.
Yeah, keeps fluctuating.
We were up to like 21, but then we were also down to like 12. So.
We're the most popular channel right now at the Forge, and I'd like to point that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't even we don't work here.
I added a lot of bots this time.
Oh man, so many bots.
That makes a lot of sense.
Nurk dig.
You should probably do a lot more than that.
Yeah,
Pay
so
those
many
bots a little more.
So many bots. Okay, do you want to start with Bert's or Chris's?
Oh, the other one's Chris's. Cool.
Yeah.
Let's start with Bert's.
Let's start with Bert's. Bert's been painting up as like a test against his orcs that he usually does.
Yeah.
He's doing Nova Marines. Yeah, you should have submitted your creed, nerd. Why didn't you? Nerd. So many hats.
I don't know how to turn those off. I'm trying here, guys.
Nova
Yeah,
Marines.
these looking at so for unit especially we look at the whole mod or the whole unit as well as the individual model because you want it to be consistent across the board for how they're
Oh, I'm feeling a certain way about this model now. Bert, now you're gonna get tore a new one on this one.
uh-oh. That's bad.
Every time you say bird, I think you're talking about me.
We are talking about you.
I dare you a new one, Bert.
So I do like the white overall. It's not just a flat white. It definitely has some popping. It has edge highlight on it so that it definitely pops those edges. It's in the very classic GW style of paint. The quartering's really well done. I like that because it's sometimes very difficult to do quartering. Like even on the backpack, it actually feels really cool. The blades are really sweet too. I like that. I like the coloring on the blades, and it's just very much so not just your typical. It's a nice ice ice feel to it as
Yeah.
opposed to the dark blue of the armor itself. So
And I do definitely like that. Bert's definitely got some super fun stuff that he rocks and rolls with all
Oh,
of his Nova Marines. You know, what else can we say about this glorious model?
I can say a lot.
Oh,
but-
yeah, there's gonna be a lot.
well, so going into some critiques because it is an excellent model.
But is it though?
It is. I will say that I wish there was a little bit more on the eyes. The eyes are just kind of a flat green. They don't really have anything to them or
Not
an
really.
extra little glow.
No, there's a
Oh,
couple,
there's a
layer.
there's a little layer. Oh, no, it's just a little dim over here for this one.
Yeah,
So
he's
there's that.
He's bad about judging. Don't worry
There
about
there is this this part of the blade that has like a come on, focus.
it. You're
There's
just the best.
I'm
about-
just the best about this. There is like a little notch in there that isn't. It's not on any of the other parts of the model, so it's kind of a slip of the brush. So
So one thing that I wanted to point to specifically, and there's a couple of things on here, is
Okay.
on the gauntlet. Come on, focus. Focus.
you're just so good at this.
It's just.
All right, real quick, I
yeah,
did change the ads, so it was running every 30 seconds.
Holy shit.
There was an ad to run. That was just the automatic, so I changed it so it's every hour now.
What's wrong
And if you
with you?
subscribe,
What a
you don't get any
sadist.
ads.
No wonder people are
30
subscribing.
seconds?
It was 30 every 30 seconds.
How
Oh my
much money you
God.
making off this channel?
I don't even know. I don't even have anything hooked up to make
Oh
money.
man, he was making money for Twitch like they all deserve. The pooling for what looks like a wash around the gauntlet is kind of it comes off as a little bit more lazy.
Yeah, no, it definitely. If it was on the other side, I could see it being a shadow.
Yeah,
but it's on the top side. So
It's on the top side
yeah.
and it's around the entire thing. And then also, this is kind of something that I noticed on the rest of them. Come on, focus.
What's that?
Focus. Is the lines aren't straight on
That's
the
true.
shields.
On the shields, they're definitely freehand. You can tell that it was painted white, and then the blue came in, and then he tried cleaning it up with the white, which is very difficult to do. So
It is definitely difficult to do, but I feel like on the rest of them it kind of pops a little, like super well. On this guy,
Yeah.
you can tell.
yeah, you can tell. Some of the other ones are a little wavering, but I'd rather see the wavering than it not being, not feeling it at all.
True.
The loincloths are more comic booky, and I dig it.
I dig it too.
Yeah, I dig it because it's a good example of like, okay, I'm going to use two colors, and I'm just going to. I need you to move your hand. Yeah, there you go. You can tell that it's like, okay, I'm going to use two colors, and that's it. And it's
Yeah.
going to be a very. This is what a very exact wash looks like. A pinstripe wash. So it definitely pops in that comic book style, and it's consistent. So I'm down with that. The unit overall, by the way, the bases. Oh my god. The bases look really cool. The weathering that's on these bases too is super cool.
The Zone Mortalis ones are just they pop
Yeah.
super well. I have a bunch of these guys, so I will be using them for projects in the future.
Yep. So excellent work on that, I would say.
Yes.
So yeah, cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
I mean, Bert does good work.
I'm done with this.
Get out of here.
Yeah, Bert does some really
Now
good
we
work.
get to judge Chris with his #1 unit of brown pants.
Bullgrins.
Brown pants Bulgrins. Just look how happy he is. He's so grumpy.
I love the Bullgrin models. They're just so cool.
Yeah, the Bulgrin models are just they're so I don't know how many people remember the old Bulgrin or old Olgrin that used to be out and around. These are so much better.
So just looking at it from the top, the hazard striping is really well done.
Yep.
The armor coloring is really cool. There's edge highlighting on all of the top parts. The tank treads that they have for their cod pieces, I want there to be more to the coloring beyond just it. It's kind of flat. I kind of want there to be a little bit more of a bright or a little bit of a rust effect. It is a stylistic choice for sure, but it just kind of it needs a bit more,
Right.
So
I feel like also with kind of a good thing to kind of point on, where he did the decal and then also did manage to work it into the battle damage. I like that a lot.
Yep.
His gold right here on the edge is not exactly super clean.
Yep. But on the other ones, they are.
They are definitely.
They're definitely on the
Well,
other ones.
actually,
nope, yep,
right
yep,
up here
yep,
on top.
I see it. Yep.
Yeah, but that's not
So-
something. Yeah, of course we're still on sci-fi
We're
movies. We're super
on
slow.
we're on units now, so this is the last. This is the last unit. The skin tones are just so good.
Yeah, I'm super hype about the skin tones. I mean, as somebody who also works on skin tones, it's like, oh my goodness.
Some of the yellow on the hazard striping and the shields, though, it needs a little bit more to it. It's a little flat. You can also use a little bit of red and orange to highlight it. A little brown will make it pop too.
The where he did the brands also is really nice because you got like this brand right here, and then also this is something we saw on Nork Dead Dog as well. But the scars are just primo.
Yeah. The fuel can on the side and the leather. I kind of wish they were a little bit closer to Nork, but
Yeah. Also, with the grenade, I wish that there was like another layer of highlight on the grenade.
Yeah.
It doesn't pop as
on
much.
both of them too.
Yeah, but it all in all, it's just one of those things
Yeah.
you look at it. Also, the hazard striping on the headpiece.
Yeah, that's
freehand.
that really.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, look at that. That's awesome, dude.
Yep. So that's usually just steel on the shields. It's actually part of the thing that's built in there. They have actual like stripes built in.
Yep.
But on the headpiece, that's freehand. That's spicy.
Yeah. No, this is excellent work. So, also your decal work on these guys.
Yeah.
Awesome. Very well done.
Decals are fantastic.
Yeah, decals are a difficult thing. I actually pride myself on my decals. So seeing other people having really good decals is just it makes my soul happy.
He never lets us live it down.
Nope, I don't. But yeah, that's the last unit we have. So
Awesome.
thank you very much for that. Is that fast enough for you, Bert?
You guys are doing great.
We did that in like
Appreciate both of you. You're fantastic
we
human
did that in
beings.
20 minutes.
All right.
What do we want to do next? More sci-fi?
Let's do fantasy next.
Ooh, fantasy.
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 All right. So some of these folks, I don't know who they are. I haven't
You'll
met
have
some
to
of
tell
these,
us.
but
That's
I do
too bad.
have.
He doesn't lie to make me happy.
How many fantasy entries do we have?
So many.
A lot. We're gonna have to speed through this one because I apologize to the viewers that actually entered into their fantasy minis because there are a lot.
He's not good. He's just a nerd.
Which Alex? There's so many.
There's a lot of Alexes.
Alexes.
Okay. So we're gonna
Cabert
go.
Zella.
We're gonna start. We'll go. That's Simon. I'll start with the models that I do know for sure. That's Simon. That's Troy's son.
Troy's child.
And then I'll start writing on this paper. So you guys start with that one, and then I'll keep going.
Blade Peacock, is this your son's mini?
My son.
Much shot, my boy.
My boy.
Oh no, my boy.
So something that can just off the bat, prime your models. Prime the model.
This is his first model.
Yes, and that's not a pick on his first model or
How
anything
old
like
is
that.
Troy's son?
I think he's my son's age. I think it's about Gideon's age. Just about 8, 9.
Gideon.
Yeah.
Gideon Ravenel.
I would definitely say like prime the models because you can have a nice base to work with. So that's always good. Coverage is really excellent too. You know it definitely tells. You can tell that he hopped around on colors, which is great. I love that. The chaos of a model like that is always fun. It's something that you really can't necessarily replicate as an adult. It's really difficult to paint poorly as an adult.
Why would you say it like that? It's hard to paint.
It's hard to
like
paint.
you're just learning how to paint.
It's hard to paint like you're learning how to paint.
Dork.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway,
I'm gonna be rude to this guy's kid who's painted a model at 8 years old.
I can't believe that he actually put this in. Man.
I tell you, man,
it's
the
great.
first model that I painted, I found him just a little while ago, and it's
Let me tell you what, this kid, he definitely has more skill than I did when I was painting. He definitely has more skill on blending than I did.
Yeah.
So that's always an up. Yeah, like as far as it goes, like he's getting the skin tones in where they need to be, and definitely can you can tell that he's trying to do a non-metallic metal on the armor. He's really trying to set himself up for an NMM.
Why are you actually putting effort into this? I'm very happy with it. It's his first mini.
He submitted the first mini. Like it takes a lot of effort.
Why are you using words like non-metallic metals? He's got that silver down, boy.
Shut up.
Can you tell we've done this together for a long time?
Just a fair bit.
These two are adorable. I gotta say.
We're actually married.
Yeah, basically. I live in his crawl space under stairs in a extra dimensional space.
Yeah, there's a nice. I kept wondering where the Audrey Hepburn poster came from, but that answers that question.
It's a extra dimensional demi plane. Don't worry about it.
All right, next one is Neil.
I wasn't done with Troy's son because that's a really cool model. Keep it up, Troy's son. You did great. You know, always keep improving. Come to that painting class this next weekend.
Chat. Mohanad want to become famous?
We can
buy followers.
Buy followers.
Yeah, boy.
It's about time.
Anybody want to pitch in on the OnlyFans to buy followers?
All right, Neil, here you go.
Neil.
He's got the Ototo, which, by the way, I'm so happy. I remember building the old one from the first edition kit. It was the flippin' worst model I have ever built in my life.
Good catch, Jacob.
Who's this?
Good
I
catch.
know. I'm trying here. I said B word instead of
kiddos watching
biznatch
today, so-
before.
Hey.
Yeah. Neil. His name is Neil.
Neil.
This is Ototo.
Hey, I'm glad to hear it, Troy.
Man,
thanks for sending that on.
Yeah, he's a sweet boy.
This model is really cool.
Yeah, he needs to keep painting, by the way.
Yeah, he
Tell your
does.
son to keep painting cool models
yeah.
and just having a fun time with it.
Yellow is such a difficult color.
It is.
to work from. So having it be kind of a dirty feel and have it actually have nice coverage is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
like
the
that.
armor pieces.
Yeah, they're
man.
really well done.
Also, the orange tones in the yellow too really help it pop.
The split between the silver and the black is really cool. I would say for the silver though, make sure that you're being careful not to overwash again, and having it separate a bit more so that you can having some well-defined lines or even doing a highlight silver between the two lines will help it pop up a bit more than where it's at. So
Yeah. One thing that I wanted to point to as well is half of the mask is super cool.
Oop, it's out of focus. There you go. Focus. Yeah. Half the mask is really cool.
Half of the mask is just black. So there's the cool
okay.
side. There's a cool side.
Yeah.
There's a side where it's like.
Yeah, make sure that when you're painting, don't rely on your on your primer as a base tone either. You definitely, if you're gonna paint black, make sure that you're doing black and like a little bit of gray or blue to make it pop, because a flat primer will really set you down. So just be aware of that. So excellent work.
Yeah,
No,
did
really like
good.
it.
I love the different layers of yellows too that he put on it.
He did his first wet blend with what are they called? It's like his minions, part of the Ten Thunders
The
group.
grunts, I think, is
No, they're like
Oh,
sort of
that-
the T.
ninja, basically.
They're like snipers, I think, like ninja snipers.
Yeah.
But yeah, he did. Oh, there they are.
Torkage. Yeah, thank you.
Torkage.
Torkage.
That's what we've been calling them, Torkages.
Torkage.
They look awesome. He did a really good job. First time wet blending. It looked great. So awesome.
Let's do Kyle's next, because I remember the days of old watching Kyle paint his stuff and just
Skaven,
judging. This is a Skaven
them rat boys.
assassin.
Assassino.
Torsta. Is that you, Kyle?
Death Runner. Yeah, it's
Yeah, Death Runner.
if anybody actually knows what the Skaven model actually is called, it's probably Kyle.
Yep,
It's probably the person that painted it.
I
guarantee.
I miss the days of half point shields and like quarter point, ranged weapons on them.
Bummer.
Skaven were goofy.
Yeah. It's kind of like you can tell who a Nid player is because they're like, oh yeah, it's this sack of whatever thing, and you're like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
This is a scrotum of this variety.
It's true. All right. Let's see here. Skin tones right off the bat, super good, super cool.
Love his skin tones. They really pop well.
They could use a little more, like another layer of highlighting would be to capture where your light source is coming from would definitely stand out. It would make the model stand out a lot more. The metallic work is solid. Again, we're gonna keep bashing on this. The highlighting definitely, like, just take away from this. If you're thinking, okay, am I done here? Bring up another level of highlighting. Put an extra line of something on there. Make sure that you are capturing whatever model you have, and the lighting that you're putting it on, or the scene that you're putting it in. Even if it's an underglow, make sure that you're putting that highlight in there.
Like if you did the edge highlighting of the way you did the cloaks, and you did that on the metals too, it really would pop a lot more. Also the blade. I'm really a huge fan of the red metal on the blade, because there's like a natural edge highlight in there too.
Yeah.
That just it pops, and then also the blade on his face blade.
Oh yeah, no, it's super cool.
Yeah, I'm always a huge fan of Death Runner. Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
that's a fun way to do it. I like that.
Yeah, that's a really good way of doing contrast paint too. So,
Yeah,
nice work.
Making it work for you as
Yeah.
a tool rather than just a crutch.
Heck yeah. Ghost Production, just to let you know, we've gone through sci-fi singles and unit, and now we're into fantasy. So
The base could use a little work.
yeah, if you can add a little bit more to the base to put it into the scene, because right now it's just gravel.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't know what he's doing or where he's at or what he's doing it with.
He's running death, sir.
Yeah. I mean a tuft, a rock, a skull.
Or even if it like you did a dry brush and then like a wash just to make it like kind of not look as chalky. I think.
Yeah, that definitely looks like a highlight though, but it's something to help elevate it, a bit more. So
Yeah.
cool stuff. Thank you for the entry. Appreciate
Stabby
it.
bits.
Stabby bits.
Okay. Micah.
Micah.
Micah?
Oh, Micah, the first model you've ever done.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, she's been working hard on this and struggling with the dry brushing aspect to it. So
You're too hard on yourself.
Yeah, you
let's
really
be honest
are.
here. You really are too hard on yourself.
Yeah.
This is like 10 times. This is your first model that you've ever done?
man, I wish my first model looked like that.
Oh, me too. I have my first
Holy
model sitting
crap.
in my display case at home, and it looks like trash.
Just remember, always keep your first model.
Yeah, always.
Never get rid of your first model. Always
Yeah.
have it to keep you humble and know where you came from.
Do you have your
because
first model?
I do in a box somewhere. I keep my first
Where?
downstairs on my basement, top left
Judging.
corner.
I've never seen it before, and I go through all your stuff every night.
That's weird. it's an elder jet bike, the old style. I keep an avatar of Kane because I remember sitting there and getting done painting it and being like, I'll never exceed this ever. And since then, I have surpassed it.
It is super tough, Kyle. I've actually been working on it too, as kind of like a bonus on my guard. Kicking that up to the next level is super difficult.
Yeah.
I
So
know this is only the third. Oh, this is your third model.
oh,
There's two.
first
No, they weren't.
Bummer.
They were starts to a great future of painting miniatures.
You can put them in an area and then light them on fire. That's typically what you do with old models, right?
I do know that these CMON models actually burn pretty well, so good to go.
Yeah. So something that I'm going to pick out, the white. The white is super good.
Oh my god,
The
dude,
white is really good.
the
And
white is so
that's so-
good.
You boys know what that white is, right?
Is that the
Pro Acryl
Yeah.
Bold
Oh, okay.
Titanium white.
Nice.
Yep, I know Mark was doing the same thing with it. It was just so good.
Blinding white.
It's
White.
blinded by the white.
Yeah. Some extra, like a little bit of gray would help too.
She bought Apothecary white.
Okay.
Yep, to
Yep.
throw over the.
Yep, you can do that too.
Yeah.
I'm not used to contrast paints for shading, so
Because he's a chode.
because I'm terrible at this thing.
doesn't paint models.
The metallic is really cool. I'm down for that. The skin tone is a little dark, but you can always lighten that up with some extra paints. Also, don't be afraid when you're getting into skin tones to add in some purples, greens, blues into a skin tone, because humans are not pink. It's just not how we are.
I mean,
So-
some of us are, but that's
Some of-
because we
yeah.
have skin conditions.
Yeah, okay. I'm sorry. But yeah, like
Fur.
the browns are a great start. So you have a great starting point for this model, and blocking in colors is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
So this definitely feels like it's a step one of 5 kind of thing. So I'm really in for that. I'm not going to pick on too much of a person's third model. So yeah.
Let's be honest here. First model of, stepping up.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's Stark Bowman. Also, they're so good in the game, and I love every time that I see somebody painting up their actual models for Song of Ice and Fire, because I don't. Because I'm an idiot like that.
Yeah.
So,
Ooh, good catch.
Yeah,
Nice.
he's catching me.
Nice.
Good job, man.
I'm trying so hard, guys. I'm having skin. So the easiest way to do skin tones for me, and I mean I do this for guard as well, is the base, and then you go over it with Acadian flesh tone, which is the next layer up for the Games Workshop paint.
Yep.
And then Reichland flesh shade will bring it back down to a good shade, and then that's skin tones are just super difficult.
Think of it this way: you want to capture some of the. So when you're looking at it really close, it might look a little blocky, but catch highlights areas and like do small lines, and it'll really help pull the model tone of how the skin tone looks a lot better without needing to layer it or try and like.
Me too.
Yeah. You want to try and like elevate it by doing highlighting or dry brushing even if you have a big enough area, but yeah, it's a difficult thing. It's something that I'm actually gonna I think a lot of people try and improve on, and finding someone that actually does skin tones really well. You like latch on to them to learn everything that they've ever learned from on it. So yeah,
I like skin tones.
Thank you, Micah, for entering that.
Tonks.
Oh yeah.
Let's do
This is Tyler.
Tealer.
This is the fella that had the magic card as well for the open.
Oh, okay. For the open category, the magic card. I like it.
Hey, could I get another voodoo? Yeah. Thanks, man.
Are you taking orders?
Apparently
That's
is,
just a voodoo would be great. That's what the shop sells, right?
We're branded by Voodoo.
Yeah, this is a voodoo shop.
Look at this thing. Oh my goodness, though.
I love that worm.
Yeah, the worm is so good. The base, though, I am enthralled. But Rob will
run out then of the.
Yeah,
of the
that's
Voodoos.
too bad. It's all our Voodoo.
I really like the contrast between the base tones as well. The basing is excellent. Like getting an actual feel for like really green plants against the brown of the model itself is really awesome. The worm is really good. Purples against browns are always fun.
Yeah.
The like the skinish tone that's on the worm as well is cool. So yeah, the blade pops out nicely. I kind of wish that the blade had a little more on the inside. It's really edge highlighted, which is it feels stylistic, especially with the rest of the model being kind of edged out. So
yeah,
that's definitely a stylistic choice too. So.
One thing that I kind of wanted to point to, I've seen a lot of Sylvaneth armies, and all of them are super fun because you know that everyone puts their heart and soul into Sylvaneth models. Is the contrast where it comes from the eyes to the face. Mm-hmm. People don't usually do that. They usually use the face as a high point and then like have the eyes more sunken in. This is the opposite, and I am here for it. That is fun.
Yeah, having glowing eyes and having it pop out where it's staring into you instead of you staring into it is really cool. So
the base though, I can't talk enough about the base and how spicy that is.
The greens on the cloak and or the loincloth and the braid on the back are really cool too. I really like how this feels.
Yeah.
It pairs nicely with the green on the floor. Also the rock and the glow effect in the rock match up nicely with the rest of the basing too. So it feels like it's in world rather than being separated from it, and having it integrate into the model overall. This is an excellent piece.
This is as Gaelic as it gets, and I love it.
Yeah.
Micah, one thing, if you want to come to like a paint night, just let me know. Shoot me a message on the Discord, and I can show you how to do dry brushing and skin tones, at least how I do them.
Yeah, if you want to learn great dry brushing technique, talk to Jacob. He definitely it's all he does.
All I do.
It's all he does. If you want someone that's perfected the skill, it's Jacob.
I'm telling you, man, fundamentals.
Yeah, fundamentals will get you a long way. So yeah, and I know that you're going to be here on the 30th. Hey, there's that paint class on the 30th.
I'm not going to be here on the 30th. Yeah, you won't be. I'm going to come pop in and say hi.
But yes,
I got a tournament.
Make sure that you stop into the paint class, and you'll get a lot of information. So yeah,
cool.
Back to the model.
Yeah, no, man. Do you have anything more to say about this?
No.
I love the antlers, man. I love Sylvaneth models.
Yeah, Sylvaneth models have.
I played Wood Elves in 8th edition fantasy, and it just every time I see a Sylvaneth model, I'm just happy about it.
I believe that's a bias.
It is.
Okay. All right. Who's up next?
We have Chuck.
Chuck. Otherwise known as Chuck.
Otherwise known as Upchuck.
Oh, Bloodthirster.
Yeah, he's got
Or Bloodthirster.
Bloodletter. Bloodletter of
It's a really small Bloodthirster.
It's a tiny boy. He wishes he was a bloodthirster.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. I originally, when I was picking this up, I was like, man, there's spacing on the side of it. I'm here for it now. It's cool.
Yeah.
It fits. Like he's got,
Although if you're gonna do it to the rest of it.
Right.
Have it to everything.
If you're gonna do it to all of it, do it to the rest of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, even this right here, it's a focal point that pulls it up into the model right there, and I'm kind of okay with it.
Accidental or not, it's cool.
Yeah, it's a neat way to do it. I like it. It also looks almost like a transition. So you start out with like this, and then it goes into more rocks.
Yeah.
And more rocks.
The blade being kind of it looks a little wet blended or a little muddled. Be careful with knowing what material you want your things to be. So having an idea in your head of like, is this bone? Is it metal? Is it rock? Is it obsidian? Those kind of questions you can
Isn't
answer.
obsidian a rock?
It is, but it's it's more of a glass.
Glass rock.
Yeah. I will say that this is a model that needs some more highlighting or dry brushing on top of it to kind of pull it to the next level. I love the skin tone, and actually don't worry about like if I dry brush, I'm going to erase a bunch of color beneath. Remember that paint is somewhat transparent, so it's not fully opaque. So if you put layers on top, it will show through, and lighting will be scattered and different between different layers of paint. So if you add on to this model, having that orange will actually meld into the background and become like modeling or to the skin tones, and it'll actually make it more interesting to the eye rather than less interesting. So never feel like, oh well, I put something down and now I'm going to erase it. You won't erase that lighting effect. Not all the way.
Every color that you put over another color is going to change how that color affects the model.
Yes.
And that's always kind of something that people, don't necessarily understand as well as they probably should, but it happens.
Yeah, it's just something to keep in mind. So definitely a good start to this model. Same with like the pooling on the it's a little dark on it, but you can tell in person. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, just be careful with that pooling. Make sure that if you're putting a wash down or stippling something that you're being careful on your undercoat.
It's a very dark grundle.
It is a very dark grundle. Definitely cool. Thank you, Chuck.
Yeah, I dig it, man.
Chuckums.
Kelsey.
Uh-oh.
Oh man, we get to judge Kelsey
I get
stuff.
to just judge Kelsey stuff. Heck yeah.
And of course, she painted up Percival de Rollo. Can't remember the rest of his name, because it's way too long. But
Oh yeah, Percy.
yep,
Yeah.
Percy the Gunslinger,
Yep.
who has a sword but never uses it because he has. Why would you use a sword when you have gun?
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Why would you ever? I don't understand why you would
Oh
ever.
man, why is the rifle bent?
Resin.
Oh well, still judgment.
So the I will say that the like some of the effects on the back, especially on the cloak on the back, are really well picked out.
Yes.
And the red against the blue, so good.
Yep, up here on the top.
Yep. I love the metallic feel for the rest of it. It has that foiled, gilded look to it.
It feels it's aristocratic, which is exactly how it's supposed to be. Weird.
The highlighting is excellent, especially on the cloak. You can tell that it has that she knew where her lighting was coming from, and applied it exactly. So that was really good.
Yeah, of course we're gonna slow back down.
Yeah,
Sam.
we don't have that crack and whip.
We're
behind us.
not going over your models anymore,
Yeah.
so now we got to slow back down.
Yeah. I will say that like on the front, especially on the inner side of this, it needs a bit more. It's a little flat. It doesn't have as much.
We're always willing to give longer reviews. Although I don't know, do you have somewhere you need to be today other than Jeff's house?
No.
Okay, neither do I. So longer it is.
Yeah.
I think Bert needs to go somewhere though.
We'll keep it somewhat reasonable. Yeah, I will say that the inner cloak kind of needs a little bit more to it. The leathers are awesome, but like the face really needs a bit more to make it pop. You're not drawn into the to the face. You're drawn into the cloak, and I feel like the face is really important, especially for a miniature, especially a character miniature.
Right.
Also, don't tempt me with 2 hours per model.
We'll do it,
I will
Sam.
do it. I will get on my soapbox as much as I want. If there's one thing that I know how to talk about, it's painting.
Of course. One thing that, to try to maybe do is a little bit more. I know Percy is supposed to be super pale. Weird. Maybe on the cheekbones where it starts to get that more natural, like, bend down where it is. Put in a little bit more dark color in there. Just like a darker skin tone or something. Also keeping in maybe even a gray to kind of pull the eye in there so that people notice the definition between the skin, the cheekbones, and everything else.
Yeah.
Like that. No, we've already judged your stuff, Sam. We want to be home by midnight or at least. That would be a long time.
That would be a long stream.
Well, yeah, super
Yeah,
fun.
no, Kelsey, excellent work.
Oh, yeah.
Love it.
Well, we're gonna need a lot more voodoo if we're doing 2 hours.
My voodoo is not here. I'm very disappointed.
My hands are voodoo-less.
Yeah.
Except for that.
Do you see these hands
I have a scar right there
from the voodoo?
from voodoo.
From the voodoo.
Nah, my car bit me.
The voodoo man.
Well, we got 4 that are not, they're just not named.
Okay, well I know that Bert's is one of them right there. If we
Is
want
he-
to grab the thick orc on the rider.
Yeah.
That's Bert's.
Are we doing this with this?
Yes, it's on the correct size base. So this is a really cool kit, Bash. That axe is actually off of wow.
Sam's just, I'm not saying you got to take a long time on mine. You could just say bad, move on, LMAO. Don't tempt me, Frodo. I'll do
Don't
it.
tempt me, Frodo. Yeah, so this orc is really cool. The blade is from a venerable dreadnought for a
Space Wolf kit.
Space Wolf kit, which is just such a cool blade.
My socks for you. Bert, that's Bert?
No, that's Kelsey.
Oh, no.
Kelsey.
I thought Kelsey was Blight.
No,
Oh.
no.
I don't know.
Kelsey holds down the fort regularly with me, being that she's wearing socks, and typically at work.
It goes to show how much I actually pay attention to the stream
Yeah.
because I don't.
Yep, he doesn't.
I don't.
The gems are really cool. The skulls are really cool.
Well, this gem's kind of lazy, to be honest. Look at the edge, man.
I mean, it's yeah.
Look at the edge. It's not.
It's not focusing. It's not focusing. On
Well,
the edge.
neither am I. So
Lord, what is this focus? This focus angles.
trash focus. Why is there?
Actually, here. Oh,
Yeah.
there we go.
My
Cool.
God, we could change
Hey,
it.
wow.
Hey, we're learning how to stream today.
Holy crap, guys! Thank you for coming to our first stream ever.
Yeah, first one ever.
I like the dichotomy of color between the red and the green as well.
Yes.
The red as the base tone and then the green as the highlight definitely makes it pop a lot. So that helps a fair bit.
The
skin
gray
tone.
skin tone
Yeah.
is probably my favorite.
Yeah, it's a really good. I wish the teeth were a little bit more pronounced. Them teeths.
He's got a rotten teeth.
He's got them rotten teeths. The teeth really need a little bit more of a step up, just to make them pick out. But I can see like, I like you can add effects to them as well, like Uhu glue to add a little bit more of a spittle.
Is that a big summer blowout?
Yeah. Uhu. But it would really make it so that it could feel more wet. The skin tone on the beast is so good.
It's primo.
I love it.
What are you doing with your mic?
I'm messing with my mic. That's all that matters. Yeah, the basing's really cool. The skin tone on the beast is really good. The horns I feel like could use a little bit more effort on them, a little bit more blending, because it feels like it's just kind of a two-step and then it's done. It doesn't really have the blending between. Oh, our Taskmaster is back, so we got to speed this thing up.
Oh boy.
We're getting dangerously low on voodoo, you guys.
Somebody says you can go into
and
withdrawals.
find the rest of it.
We'll find the rest of it. All right.
I'll buy it from you guys if anybody brings it in.
Buy at a premium.
Buy it off you at a fair price.
I love the purple tongue too.
Yeah, the purple tongue on the
it's a
inside is really
nice
cool.
thing because when we were looking at it originally, we couldn't really notice
Yeah.
it.
Is that Bert?
Yeah.
Also, the eyes. The eyes are really. So this is why it's important to have eyes on a model and pick them out nicely. Is that it really draws you in.
Yes.
So
Piercing.
I will say the armor is really cool.
It's Bert.
It is Bert. This is definitely a stylistic thing.
It's
for
a
Bert.
stylistic choice.
You'll see it on the night later. Trust me, it's Bert. I like the kind of grundle cloth that you have over there too.
I love how that's
Now
not
I'm
a
getting
term.
to say Grundle too.
Grundly.
I can't claim that one. That was Markiplier, but it's so good.
I do wish that some of the model had more of the. You can tell that there's like a little bit of a dry brush on the for the effect of the base, where there's definitely weathering powders being used. I want it to be popping up on the rest of the model, like so that it looks like it's more in with the universe. So putting it onto the armor, the cloth, the tail, things that drag around or get gritty. Have the dust pop up. Also, you can put it on some of the armor panels because dust does collect inside some of those organic areas and stick. But like as an overall, the motion that you're getting with this orc feels cool. So there's some things that could be picked out and done better on, but the overall feel of the orc is definitely that he's riding into battle, and you can feel it through the motion of the model.
He's going for wah.
He's going for that wah.
Wah.
So, yeah.
I played Mario Kart with Alex's son Gideon, and that, of course, the thing that he hates the most is when I go wah, because I always play Wario.
Waluigi.
Waluigi. Wah.
All right, where are we up next?
It's
What do we
different.
got?
Okay, so we got a couple. This one here is.
What do we got?
Hot sauce.
No, Menkus already went.
Yeah.
So Sam.
Sam Kramer.
Sauce guy.
So Sam is. It's 2 Halloween. Did you hear somebody out there? That was you, I think, on the stream out there. It just had the delay, and it's like.
Wah.
Wah.
Got all that.
I don't know who these came from. I don't know. I'm not Sam. Oh, it's Sam. Sam.
Sam.
I think Sam is our. If I'm correct, Sam. I don't know your last name, so now I'm just seeing it for the first time. But she does our D&D. She's one of our DMs.
Oh,
I think.
yeah,
Cool. All right.
Smallish Sam.
Yep, Smallish
Yeah.
Smallish
Yep.
Sam. Okay.
Yeah.
So we've got 4 left.
Oh,
Is that right?
Yeah, shoot, I've seen these on the Discord before.
I don't know who the Bugbear is or who the Demigorgon is.
DM Sam.
It's me.
Hey, Smallish Sam.
DM Sam.
Yay.
Sam, you did these 2 Halloween ones. Is that correct?
Halloweeners.
Halloweeners.
Can look at them in my hands.
I'd be terrified to see these on the table.
Oh,
by
dude,
the way.
I'm
Like,
totally not down for the craziest
No.
looking caveman
No,
with a
I'm good.
jack-o'-lantern.
I'm good.
Oh, he's got them growing out of his back too.
Sam is the bugbear. Okay.
You also
so
have the bugbear.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
Sam has the bugbear. I
Yeah,
like
after
that.
So that was
3
probably part of the
different things.
fantasy then.
Yes.
Okay.
Rah, rah,
Sam.
rah, rah, rah. I'm a toddler in a
Yeah, you are a
25-year-old man's body.
Okay. So the bugbear is yours, and then the 2 Halloweeners. Awesome. We can only have 1 entry. So, and then Ghost Production. I don't know who Ghost Production is.
Okay,
Demogorgon.
it's just Demogorgon.
Demogorgon.
Doug Dimmadome Demogorgon.
Well, here, you know what, Sam? We'll give judgment on all of them, but you need to pick
So one of them is for Halloween, then I'm guessing. One of them will be for maybe open, and then
Yeah,
one
yeah.
of them will be fantasy.
Yeah.
And then Ghost Productions was part of the Halloween, but
Okay.
that'll go into fantasy, you're saying?
All right.
Works for me.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. So, what?
Which one would you like in the open category?
Yeah. I mean, my vote would be on the bugbear.
The bugbear. Yeah, the bugbear. The bugbear.
He's got like Aztec symbols on his,
Yeah, that is cool. Here, let's judge that one first. Why not?
Okay,
Why not? We'll do that.
We'll wait on the witch and the pumpkin.
Yeah.
Pumpkin Jack.
Hit the road, Jack.
Don't you come back no more, no more, no more. I
Thank
like
you. We'll
it.
be here all week. All right.
I will. I
So,
live 4 minutes away.
Smallish Sam with the bugbear.
Oh, this is for the.
Sweet.
No, this isn't for fantasy.
Oh, this is not for fantasy. I
Yeah.
don't know anymore, man.
Yeah, we're not professionals about this.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay,
the bugbear's for
bugbear's
the
for the
open.
open. Okay.
We will wait on him then.
Okay.
And then would you like Pumpkin Jack or Lady Witch? I mean,
The voting.
I like them both.
The voting. Yeah. What would you say you do here?
Act like a child professionally.
Obviously.
That's what I do.
I'll take this moment to plug the painting competition at the Renegade Open. We are going to be doing that again this year.
You get to see all of this in person,
Yeah.
Judging models and making pew
We're-
pew noises the whole
We're
time.
behind we're behind a glass cage, so you're glass
Glass
bowl.
cage of
Glass-
emotion.
yeah, there
Glass
we
cage
go.
of emotion. You can tap on the glass. You can feed us. It's really bad.
Yeah, don't tap too loudly on
Yeah,
the glass
you
though,
get
because I
scared.
get spooked easily.
Yeah, you get scared.
Alex gets spooked easily
I do.
too.
I do.
Too spoopy.
But we are going to actually be doing this painting competition again in Q1 of 2022. So be ready to enter in some other things. Improve your game, learn some stuff, and
Okay, witch for Halloween, and then the
pumpkin?
pumpkin.
Pumpkin.
Okay,
Cool.
fantasy chumpkin.
Fantasy chumpkin.
Look at the mouth though, and I'm so down. Your skin tones are great.
Oh yeah.
I know you've been painting previously, right, Sammy? Or I can't remember, man.
I don't know.
But
I just work here.
Yeah, me too. I don't even work here technically. It feels uncomfortable, which is exactly how it's supposed to be.
It's
Look at that. I'm the headless horse caveman.
yeah.
The headless caveman.
The guts coming out of the pumpkin, you can definitely feel that.
Yeah.
The goo.
The
So,
writhing.
The writhing goo. You
The
could,
bodies that were writhing.
and then the explosion happened. The skin tones on the pecs and the
Okay.
stomach is really good. I feel like you could do a little bit in the recesses to kind of pop it out with like a little bit of red or purple to kind of separate the tones.
Well, so
Oh,
it's a different painting
It's
competition
a different
altogether.
it's a different painting competition because Rob
Okay,
or,
you had
you know,
Sylvan too in there too.
Bert-
So
Bert was desperate to get painting competitions and he just kind of shotgun him against them.
painting
I had
competitions and tournaments, man.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
I had no say in that. He shocked me with the Halloween one too. So there you go.
Yep.
Cool.
So we'll save the Demogorgon then for the Halloween one.
Yeah.
We'll do
Halloween.
the same thing as the Vivitch.
The beach.
That was a weird movie. You see, they're coming out with another one called Lamb.
I have no idea what you're talking
That
about.
movie is super uncomfortable. I
Okay.
do not like this.
Going back to uncomfortable minis.
Yeah.
The metallic work on the blade, you could add a little bit of a rust effect too to push that feel of kind of rot and him just picking up a random weapon off the ground.
What?
Wait, which Bert were you talking
You.
about? Okay.
Yeah, we're Trash Panda Bird.
Yeah, trash panda. No, we're talking about you. So yeah, the like the look and feel of this model, you could definitely push into that creepy land really easily. And having a little bit of separation between the fur and the skin tones for the colors is something that you might want to do in the future, just to give it kind of that separation. So yeah, something you can push into it. I
So
love
do we
the
know
pumpkin
Ghost
tones.
Productions' name?
Ghost Production.
What's your name?
Because he has the Sylvan F.
Yeah,
Yeah, he had the Spike Lady, and then he's got the card too.
yeah. I only know him as VS.
Oh, that's Tyler. That's Tyler.
Tyler.
Yep. He's also got the Tree Lord.
Okay.
He's got a tree man. Not a tree lord, he's a tree man. Hey, Dr. Mathis.
Oh, Dr. Mathis, you're the man.
DJ.
We need a
Man or
doctor.
woman.
You need to get in here. We need a
Please.
doctor
We're
now.
desperate.
Please tell me you're a psychologist. I need you.
How many voodoos can I drink before I die? Or poop myself?
So many.
Cool stuff.
What was it that like
so many
one
less
guy
than I
did
thought.
like 23 Red Bulls and his heart beat through his rib cage or something like that?
What?
Yeah.
When I was in college, I drank 9 amps and went to bed.
Tyler
Oh my god.
It was great.
burying
Did you go to
Peters.
bed like you passed out?
No,
and
I went to bed
comatose?
because I was so tired.
Oh god.
He's known to center himself too. Don't
Yeah,
worry
I am.
about it.
Yeah, that's only when drinking. All right. Well, Small Sam, thank you so much for the
Yeah.
intro. This is really
You
cool.
rock.
Yeah, you
we'll-
do.
So
So
Sam, I know.
We will be coming
Unless I know
back
another
to we'll be coming back to your
doesn't
bugbears.
sound healthy. It doesn't.
Doesn't sound healthy, no.
Okay, so what do we want to do for our next one? Do we
Okay.
want to do Vehicle
do-
Monster or
yeah,
the Big Chonkers?
Okay. Let's do.
Do we want to do Titanic or Monster? We got a lot of Monster.
These are monster here.
Yeah, those are Monster.
All right. Let's start with Chuck's Belcore.
Otherwise, we could go into Open because there's 3 entries into Open. Doesn't really matter.
Well, yeah, there's now 3
What do you mean, the
entries.
little guys?
Yep. Yeah. Oh no, we can't see behind the counter.
Big belly core. Woo!
Why does he have like a 4-pack, man? I'm telling you.
He's got an 8-pack.
like
pack of anger.
I'm a real doctor and suggest at least 16 voodoos every day for health. Okay.
Oh, thank
Doctor's orders, please write that as
Thank you,
prescription.
you. Yes, I appreciate that. All right, so this is the vehicle monster category.
Yep, the thickums. I like that, the thickums.
Thickens. All right.
So we had actually, as kind of the primo to judging this stuff, we actually kind of went over this one previously. Chuck, holy crap. This is like your 4th model ever? Dude,
That was like 2nd or 3rd model, I think, that
I'd
Chuck's
be
ever done.
straight up terrified.
Straight up going for all of the like bold stuff. Man, you were going hard into this stuff. And
Yeah.
I'm very excited to see what you do in the future.
There's something else that like actually factors into this big time too. He's got tremors.
Yeah.
So he's able to, because a lot of people are deterred. I talk to a lot of folks that come into paint and they're really deterred because they're like, my hands shake really bad. And I was like, look, I know a guy, his name is Chuck, and his hands shake, and look at that. So
You know, something that you can, so there's a couple of different things you can do with your handshake.
Stop doing coke.
If you're,
Well,
if it's small,
you
if
can't
it's,
stop.
If it's small,
Can't stop, won't stop.
anyway, if you're trying to do small miniatures, you can actually brace your hands.
Oh, that is Chuck. Okay.
You can brace your hands really close.
Yeah,
kinda
show
like
it on
that.
camera.
And you can paint. I wish I had a miniature that I could actually do it on.
The bugbear.
Here, I'll do it. I'll
Yeah,
do
you
it.
hold the
I'll
models
do it like
now.
that.
How?
So you can brace your hands, so you can push.
Also for health reasons. You're not a doctor, Sam. I know that much.
You can press your you can press kind of your thumbs together like that, or the bases of your thumbs like that, and you can use that as a point where you can point into and paint something really closely while having that support for your hands. You can get a painting handle and use that to hold onto the model instead of onto the base or onto individual pieces. But bracing your hands, bracing your elbows, you can't see it, but I actually have like my hands on the table to brace. So even if you have small shakes, you can go in there and do things. If you have shakes really a lot and you're concerned about that, using different mediums like oils or enamels will do really well, because that's reductive, so you can actually erase things with it, and it has a really long dry time so that you can play with that. In addition, doing things like stippling, doing things that dry brushing, doing things that help alleviate your shakes or things. You don't need to do like precise, using the tip of the brush to get some precise thing. Do dry brushing, get around it by doing glow effects or by doing like more of an anime style or a streak style dry brushing, things of that nature. You can do a lot with it without needing to feel like, oh, I can't paint because I have the shakes and I can't do like the super precise work. Just play into your into that and make it your own. You can definitely make it your own style. So I'll get off my soapbox here and judge this model.
He has been talking about washes and like oil washes so much lately.
Oh, yeah.
And I tell you what, I'm about ready to burn it down like what's the oil rig that the Matt Damon movie. Yeah, there you go, buddy.
So some cool things on this miniature. The wings, the highlighting on the wings is always so good. The blending between the turquoise and the purple is well done.
Yes.
It feels like it actually shifts between the two. You can definitely see where you're having some points where you need to have some cleanup. Be careful of your dry brushing, because it you can and will traipse over into some areas where you don't want it, like cleaning on the wing.
Yes,
So,
you will.
Yeah, a lot. So be aware that you'll probably need to clean up and go back and forth a bit. You definitely captured the face nicely. So it actually feels like Be'lakor is mad at me.
He's a little upset.
Yeah, be careful also, like on the blade, you got some blood on here when you don't have blood consistently on the rest of the blade. You do have a little bit on the tip over there.
Sir, just the tip.
Just the tip. Snow effects are really cool.
Yeah, love the snow effects in the base.
The basing's really good. I did point this out to Jacob and Bert originally. Be consistent with your basing. So don't just throw a bunch of different flocking, because you have like 3 or 4 different flocking types and colors. Stick with one and then do it that way. Have more of a consistent color with your basing. In some ways, less is more in that way. You don't want to necessarily mix a ton of colors into, and then have it kind of get lost. So,
Yes.
but yeah, like also down here on the leg, like this is a really cool transition up for skin tone.
Yeah, with it being like the kind of more dry brush aspect on the skin and also on the horns and stuff, I like it.
Yeah.
I think it's fun. It's a really neat stylistic choice that not a lot of people choose, and it helps to pick out like the veins that are always really big on these models. Because if you see like on his inner thigh and then also on the knee down here, there's like a really cool shadow effect that comes with the vein.
Yeah.
That it helps to just pop.
Yeah.
I'm always a fan of that, man. Love me some dry brush.
If you're looking to kind of improve on things, Be'lakor, especially a lot of Chaos models as well, have like this difference of like skin to like a chitin or some sort of a chitin, whatever. Sorry, chitin to the chitin. Be careful about that and try and make sure that you are doing a difference between those two tones, even a subtle one, like a blue gray, and then having a true gray can really set the difference apart between those. So
Yes.
excellent work. Keep it up, man. I'm beyond impressed that this is your third model, second or third model, or first
Second.
or
Second. You said second.
many. It's within your first 10, which is shocking.
It literally is the third comment up, buddy.
I can't read. So thank you very much, Chuck.
He gives me
Appreciate
crap for not being able to read.
it. All right. What's our next one?
We lost our guy who was
Come on
supposed to
down.
be doing stuff.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm gonna play Devil's Ad. We have 2 treatment.
2 treatment. One is Kelsey's. Oh no! Of course you would pick. Bring it over.
To pick the tank.
Yeah. Bring over a couple.
I am. I will do this.
A couple 3.
I will
Ooh,
bring over
yeah.
3 of them, and also
Yeah.
Weird Crab Chicken Man.
Oh man, weird crab chicken man.
You know what? Let's do a Tree Man now.
A tree man. I like it.
Tree Man.
Refresh the palate.
Bushman Bush.
Bushman. I don't know whose tree man this is.
Whose Tree Man is this?
It's someone's.
Hey, somebody in the chat. Who's Tree Man?
It has the same consistent basing as the other Sylvanus. So I'm gonna guess
that's
it's
probably,
Tyler.
Yeah.
Tyler.
Tyler PB. PB and T.
Here's the thing: you can start telling who. Yeah, it's Tyler. You can tell who has like models based on their stylistic choice and like their basing.
Yeah.
It's why we can look at anything that Bert paints and we're like, oh yeah, that's Bert Applebaum.
Oh, hey,
You
it's
know,
Bert's.
That's there's been many a tale of people walking in and going, is that an Alex Hunt Knight? And it's like, yeah. So, man, you took everything that was really good about your smaller Sylvaneth model and you really exemplified it.
Turned it up to 100. Man.
Yeah, like I can't speak highly enough about the basing. Like, it really does feel like fall foliage, or not like foliage that you would find in like a meadow.
Yeah. It feels it's Gaelic. Like I said in the original one, this is Gaelic as all hell.
Yeah.
Oh no, I said cussies.
The highlighting on like the lighter bits of wood really pop, especially there's like 3 or 4 different colors of wood.
Hold
So
it
I really
steady
like
for
that.
1 second. I
Yeah.
gotta look at something. Ooh, and turn it just a little bit. The honeycomb in
Yeah.
the face.
Yeah, the honeycomb, like the
Oh man, that pops.
yeah, it really does a good job of not being like you don't have to always have a glow effect to make something pop out or to be noticed. I will say that under here, your glow effect on like some of the legs and some of the inner workings, it doesn't pop, I think, in the way that you wanted it to, or to feel like an underglow. It either needs to have a little bit of a cleaner edge down here, kind of like what it does on the chest here, or it needs to be popping out with color if you want it to be a glow effect. But it looks like it's just an inset. So
Yes.
just be careful about cleaning up some of those areas. Otherwise, this is really, really cool.
I like it. I like
And
it a lot.
The blade's cool too.
Man, the honeycomb is always gonna pull my eye in, but of course that's like the one thing that it's a secret about the model where you're looking at the model. Okay, cool. There's a lot of different points to look at, and then all of a sudden you see the honeycomb and you're like, okay, cool, that's awesome.
Yep, there is a little bit of overage with these skulls, so a little bit of green that got onto the skulls, and that's
Yeah. Also a
You know.
couple of gaps in there too.
yep. Got to watch your gaps.
Gotta watch Grundle
the
gaps.
grundle gaps. So yeah, some seam lines and things like that. So just be aware of that when you're painting and building in the future.
Yes.
So excellent model.
I like
Loving
it. Okay,
What do
I'm
we got
gonna.
next?
We're gonna do Chris's tank.
Chris's tank.
Chris's tank. I don't know if anybody heard, but Cadia stands.
My Arcadius fell.
The planet broke before the guard did.
It sure did.
This is the kind of a thing that I want to make pew pew noises with, and I'm going to because it's me. Pew pew. There's so many like small details on this thing too. Is this an old one? No,
No.
It must be one of the newer ones because the turret in the older ones is a lot more boxy, but it's got bits from the old one too, which makes me excited.
The one thing, I'll just get this out of the way. The seam lines everywhere.
You know,
You gotta clean
Alex,
up the seam lines. Just saying.
I hear
Abaddon got a little testy and threw a whole freaking super weapon into a planet that he couldn't get. He just got pissed off about.
I've
Let's be
never
real.
seen a bigger hissy fit out of anybody in the Imperium other than a neckbeard getting upset about actually. It's this.
It took him 13 crusades to actually throw a weapon into the planet that he could have used elsewhere.
Yeah, he could have actually like gone and done something, important with it, but
Useful.
instead he threw it into a planet.
Yeah.
Like a big baby man.
Say what you will. None of the Chaos Gods want him. It's not because he can't choose. It's because no one else wants him.
Yeah, even at the end, Horus was just like, wait, this was a mistake. And Abaddon's just like, no, it's not.
Getting back to the model.
Yeah, back to the important parts.
Drill your barrels.
That is a las cannon,
That is a
sir.
las cannon, yes.
That is not supposed to actually like shoot something. It is like a recoil laser projector
Whatever.
thing. I will say, however, the heavy flamer should be drilled out.
See.
No, I don't see. I'm blind.
The light at the top is really well done.
Yeah, so these all are something that I don't even pick out on my tanks because I'm,
Lazy?
it's whatever, Sam. Yeah, I'm definitely lazy. Is just the way that the lights here are actually
Yeah.
supposed to be.
Well, I was looking at the spotlight. It's really well done. It actually feels like glass. If you look at the spotlight, the
does.
spotlight does feel like glass.
It does.
So, which is excellent because it pops out and it's instantly noticeable. So
Dude, he's got kill markings on
he
Dissat.
does. The decal work on it is top notch.
Yeah.
Super well done.
One thing that I want to kind of point out, and this is something that I have problems with too, is the treads. The edges of the treads
Yep.
are not as clean or neat as they should be,
Yep.
or they're not as dirty as they should be.
Yep.
There is no in between there. They're either supposed to be like more dirty, like it's going through a war zone. It looks like that was the attempt, but then there's also like the edges aren't silver.
Yeah, the edges aren't silver.
Also, this handle is also not silver, whereas on the other side,
It is.
It is.
Okay. Consistency like that. I do like the weathering effect. Be careful when you're putting washes around rivets, especially all the rivets. You might want to water it down just a hair. Otherwise, it kind of overpowers and gets oversaturated. Saturated. A lot of little things that you can do too is it looks like you have powders along the bottom. Or some dry brush effect, but I think it's weathering powders. Make sure that you're doing it to the entire model, and think about if it's treading through a bunch of stuff.
That's dry brushing.
Okay,
Yep.
it'll kick up dust into like these areas and up front, and all along this entire area. Think about where dust will collect and kick up on. Especially on like the front blade is what I noticed it on, is that it doesn't have any dust effect up there, even though it would be trailing on the ground or be pushing something around. There is that wash line also that could be improved upon. We flipped the model over.
We're looking at the Grundle. The Grundle is not as good. I mean, I also suffered from this too,
Yeah.
but I've started actually washing it.
The back of the shovel or the back of the blade too.
Sir, it is a mine prow. Can you tell we do this too much?
So yeah, the mine prow needs a little bit extra on the back because it wouldn't be getting cleaned off nearly as much by things running into it or it running into things or explosives or something along those lines.
Or if you want to go by what it actually says in the book, a dozer blade.
Whatever. Okay, fine.
Also, there's inside of the inside parts here are not also washed or taken really too much. They're just kind of a base. So that's something to kind of look into, as well as just making sure that you're getting all the bits. I understand how difficult these models are to paint. Trust me, I have 20 of them, but something to kind of look at. I love all the extra bits, though.
I love Sam. Nice lore. I mean, model review.
Yeah, we were having to slap him down because he's like, Abaddon killed Cadia. No, Abaddon threw a hissy fit.
Hour 3 of Cadian lore.
Yeah. Hey, we're only on 2 hours and 15 minutes.
2 hours
So
and 15 minutes.
I could definitely do a lore video of just
God.
guard lore.
All right. Moving on.
Don't tempt me, Frodo.
Excellent,
So
excellent
Chris,
model.
this is Jacob's loving this thing, I'm sure. So
No, he keeps pushing around. We told him not to.
Yeah, no one tells me not to do stuff. I just
right.
do it anyways.
Next up, who do we got? What do we got?
Grab people.
So this one, I don't know who this one is. This is one of the only models I
did
don't
it?
know.
Who done did it? Who done did it?
Who done it? Oh no, Ryan came back here and people are opening. I don't know what the heck is up with these microphones being this. Yeah, close it slow, buddy. These are like really receptive microphones,
they're
and
supposed
I'm
to be.
kind of okay with that.
It almost works like a microphone.
It's like it's a microphone.
Microphone really
Microphone.
picks up like sound and like puts it into the computer, and then other people can hear me.
There's like directional mic.
Yeah, I'm learning things about streaming.
So,
Oh, that's a
some
cold.
some cool parts here.
Wow.
To the model. The camouflage effect
Yep.
is well done. It looks cool. The
love the
plating-
green.
Yeah, the green is really cool. I love that there is there's flock up on the model.
Well, it's different too because
Yeah.
they use static grass.
Yep. Well, and static grass plus on the top, there's a little bit of there's a flock.
Oh, yeah.
up there.
Yep.
So it looks like either it crawled out of the ground or it got up out of the ground or they're covering it to try and hide it. So I'm all for that.
It's AdMech. You never know what they're doing.
Yeah. Some critiques on it is underneath. It's definitely not primed, and some of the areas like on the gun, it's not even primed. You got to drill at your barrels.
God
too.
damn it.
I would say that either it's a stylistic choice or not, but the legs are typically metal. Having them be a separate color from the armor would help differentiate between even if it's black,
camouflage.
Yeah, differentiate between like some of the rest of the model armor plating and style. So just something to consider. Also, the metalwork on the back is just. It looks like I'm guessing it's the Pro Acryl Gold because it looks kind
It's
of like
probably the Pro Acryl
probably the
Gold.
Pro Acryl Gold, which looks really good.
Pro
But
French
yeah,
fried potatoes.
a little bit of a wash on it and some maybe a little bit of a highlight on it. A little silver even.
Yeah.
Dry brushing some silver would help pop it out too.
Yeah, there's
on
a
that
couple
gold.
of points where it's like I can understand why you chose not to do these in silver, but like the guns, if you went and did silver and then you brought it back down with a black to kind of like dry brush it in, I think that would have been a little bit more effective rather than just kind of leaving it black.
Yeah, agreed.
But that's also me. Oh, he's got Nemesis. Or she.
Yeah, some freehand. Gotta love that.
I love naming his stuff,
Yep.
but I'm also a guard player, so naming my stuff is a requirement.
Cool. Cool. Thank you, random person that entered in Dune Crawler.
Kapew. Okay, Bert, you
All right,
wanna
what
you wanna
do we
get
got?
back on your job?
You
Give me some more models.
Watch your mouth, young blood.
need
Hey, by the way, another thing that you guys didn't mention on here, you got to paint the sides of your base there. If you didn't,
Yeah, he did.
yeah.
He called me a young blood. I am.
Jacob.
I don't have a job.
I actually think I'm older than you, Bert.
Are you really?
I think so. What year were you born?
86.
Oh, okay, no, you're the same age as my wife, so I'm 88.
Bloods.
Get out of here.
The same age as Becky.
Yeah. Keeping this the smallest Sam bugbear here for the open. He's waiting.
I'm
Angrily.
Open next then.
Wait, are we done with the? We're not
no,
done
we got more
Oh,
with, yeah, vehicle monsters. We got plenty
vehicle
more.
monsters. Let's do the other tree man.
Tree man.
Kelsey?
Yeah, that's true. Kelsey's tree man.
Ooh, she's got spooters hanging off. Moths.
Yeah, I kept hitting him, and I'm like, ah, crap. Oh, that moth is so cool.
Yes. I love it. I'm gonna tear Steve a new one.
Angry boys.
Yeah. Oh man, that kit though.
All right.
Look at the base. It's all about that base. About that base.
Well, and it's actually positioned. She had to have modified it because it doesn't. It has to stand differently.
These are static like poses.
Yeah.
She must have gone in with like green stuff
Yeah.
and.
Ooh, the color difference between the red and the gold.
Ooh, that's cool.
I'm in for that.
I love it how
Really,
it's like
really
more of a
cool.
grayish color
Yeah.
up here, and then it pulls into more of a white
Yep.
for the edge highlights.
Yep, I'm in for that. Oh, and on the back,
Tree booty.
yeah, completely different tone in color, like fall versus spring,
Yeah.
winter versus spring. I really like that. Also, the moths hanging off.
Yes.
It's so good.
Dingle, dingle, dingle.
It must be. Is that
That comes in the kit.
okay? Yeah.
They're
But,
supposed to be like glued
Yeah, yeah.
on his.
well, what
their...
I want to ask is that just fishing line?
No, it looks like
Is it held on by hopes and
Yeah,
dreams?
it's glue.
Kelsey was talking that she was going to do some fishing line.
Okay.
Oh, that is fishing line.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's held on by hopes and dreams. Yeah. No, it's super good.
The mushrooms are good on
The mushrooms
the
are
base.
super cool.
Yeah, the base
The
is-
base is moving. It's stepping into a stream, and you can tell the direction of the stream with the paint and the water effect.
Look at those guys. She did like paper crafts for
Jeez.
like butterflies. I don't even
Yeah,
know, man. They're
or
super
leaves,
cool.
or leaves, or something like that.
But they're a little bit more too uniform
Okay.
to be just leaves.
yeah, there's a bunch of like just terrain scatter.
finger.
It's great. So I'm really in for it. The basing looks excellent.
Yeah,
the
just-
model overall just really.
Edge highlights are great.
Yep.
Really pulls in the eye. The different color for the claws
Mm-hmm.
is super cool too. It feels like it's like calcified wood.
Yeah. The glow effect, the green glow effect has different levels to it. It definitely pops out. One thing that I will say is like this white over here, and the white needs a little bit more consistency. It's a little bit thin.
Yeah, maybe just like an extra edge highlight on there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. It's just you can see a little bit below it, and it's not quite blended, so it just kind of feels like it's see through a bit.
yeah.
But no, I
even
really
if you
like
take the model and you go here to here is an entirely different feeling model.
Yeah.
And I am here for it.
I kind of wish that there was a bit more highlight or even a low light, something that pops up a bit more on these sides. Same with the plants up here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love that on one side. You look at one side of the model and you get one feel, and you look at the other side and you get a whole different feel. So
Yeah.
it's cool. Sweet.
This is the fall boy.
Thank you, Kelsey.
Thank you. Okay, time to tear Steve.
I was going to say, you know who that is, Jake.
Yeah,
Steve
boy.
Steve
With his Custodes biker captain, shield captain on Dawn Eagle Dragon jet bike.
It's a whole smattering of words.
Yeah, it's a feel, man. This model is a feel.
So I love the conversion work,
Mm-hmm.
especially him holding on to the reins. Like those are jeweler's chains. I love working with jeweler's chains. They're super fun.
Yep.
You can get a lot of momentum and flow with them.
Oh yeah.
So
We've
A
gone
lot of
through-
turbo dork.
yeah, a lot of turbo dork. It's got a very unique feel to it. You definitely smashed together two models that I would not have ever thought to go together.
His
So,
entire army is like this.
okay.
His
That's Steven right
Custodes
there.
army
that's
is
awesome. So
bonkers
Creativity at the peak, man. It's awesome.
So I will say, make sure that you base your models. And,
Yes. Base.
Based. This is definitely a great starting place for it. Cleaning up some of the metals on the Custodes, having some metal on the like the armor plating on the right or
the Dagron.
on the Dagron. Make sure that you add some highlights and shadow in the skulls. Shadow. Add some of that into the skulls so you can get that kind of momentum and movement. Same thing with the ghost down below. You definitely want to make sure that you're adding in those extra layers to pull it into the environment rather than you don't want to have just a single layer of color and then a wash on top of it to try and add that effect. So
Yes. I love the blue colors though. It's not
Yeah.
usually something you see with Custodes, especially like on the insides of the spears.
Yeah.
So
Steve definitely steps outside the box on
Oh.
all of his
Yeah, no,
paint schemes and
constantly.
models and everything.
It's super weird, and I love everything about that.
seeing his new Grey Knights have been super fun too because they're the same kind of aspect to it. But yeah, always just bonkers conversions.
Yeah, don't lose that. Definitely, it's tighten up.
He's gonna keep doing
Yeah,
it.
tighten up your painting.
It's funny.
a bit more, but yeah.
Okay,
So we got Nid.
we got
this another one. I don't know who this is.
who painted Ned? Who
It's not-
painted the angriest danger beast?
think
Was this
it's-
you, Sam?
I think that's a Hive Tyrant.
That is a Hive Tyrant.
Yeah.
It's a winged Hive Tyrant, but it's not modeled correctly because he's supposed to be like this tall. Modeling for advantage.
Is that a?
Is it a conversion?
Yeah, I think
It is. Some of it is conversions.
I mean, it's a Nid, so yes, the
So-
entire army is just conversion.
Yep. So
it's a-
from here up, it is a winged Hive Tyrant, which usually comes. Yeah, I know it's painted poorly. Whatever, buddy. From here up, it is a winged Hive Tyrant, but the bottom part is actually a Carnifex.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like a Carnifex.
Yep. So you can definitely
Yep.
tell because of the tail.
Yep.
So Sam wasn't saying this one was painted poorly though. Just so
No,
everybody.
no,
No,
yeah.
no, of
the
course
way you
not.
said that, it kind of
Yeah.
sounded like
Yeah,
that. So
it
I just
did.
want to reiterate.
No. I
He
love
was
this.
Calling
Yeah,
Sam
this
out
is-
on his paint job.
I
not
give
the person who
Sam
did this.
a lot of crap. No, not you, other Sam. I give Sam a lot of crap for his stuff because he was worried about getting 10 points in the last RTT, and then he finally actually painted his stuff so he could get that 10 points because it would have mattered in all three of his games.
Equally, there are so many Alexes.
By the way,
and
thank
then
you,
so many
Sam,
Sams.
for coming to those RTTs. I want to see more of you guys in there too.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, the 13th of November is going to be our next RTT. It's a Renegade Prep RTT.
Heck yeah, it's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, gonna be good stuff. I love the greenish tinge that everything has on this model.
Yep.
It feels oogie.
Playing with contrasting paints between a red and a green really does pop for that. It helps pop for that, and I like having a neutral gray in between to kind of help settle between the two colors. I will say that there are points on the model that need actual paint rather than it being, especially on the tail. There's actually no paint down on the tail. It's just bare plastic. You can't see it on camera.
Actually, that's a silver color.
Oh, whoops. So just something as. You're the other Sam, smallest Sam?
No.
Okay.
To the right people, you are the Sam.
The Sam, the smallish Sam.
Should we call Sammy Moose? One of them Moose, the other one not.
Maybe. I
Or
don't
a
know.
supernatural
Whatever.
reference. Hey, don't you start trying to get back on track.
But like the green glow is really cool.
Yeah.
With Nid's models, anything organic, it's really difficult to get rid of seam lines. So just something to be aware of. But
One isn't even too bad for seam
no,
lines.
it's really not.
Yeah, they did a really good job of cleaning those up. Even like the back chitin is, Bill? No.
No.
Even the back chitin, which is usually like 2 different parts, is pretty spicy.
Yep.
And then down here where it's like the tail, I better get this back on camera. The tail, the chitin that goes on top of the tail is actually 2 different parts, and that even there's like one little tiny seam that you can see, and that's it.
Yeah.
So very much like it. I love the ooey gooey Tyranids.
I think the main thing that I would say for this model to improve upon is tightening up those colors and improving on getting the tones a bit tighter so
Also-
that you're not bleeding over into other areas.
Don't forget to paint your sacks.
Yeah, sacks are really
The
important.
sack is really important here, and it's only just like a gray color. Paint your sack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So pick out all the nice detailed bits and do
Croc.
those. All right, what do we got next?
I love mids.
Thank you, random person who entered.
Well, now we have actual Sam's stuff. Who
Sham.
painted Fire? Fire Lady. Looks like the
Fire
thing
Lady.
from Moana.
It kind of does. Yeah.
We got Booba.
The face gets me. It's
Rawr.
it's just this flat rar.
Rawr.
It's so funny. I love it. The
It-
blending is so good on this.
Yeah, it helps. It pops.
Yeah. Remember that typical fire. Typical fire actually starts hotter near the middle, and then it goes out. So it'll always be hotter so it'll be more white and yellow near the middle than on the edges, which will be more red. So this is more of a reverse of the fire effect. Same concept, but just something to consider.
So how do you judge that? Do you judge that on
I
creativity,
hate
or do you judge
everything
it on?
about it.
He has edge
technicality.
highlight, or he has mold lines on it, so already just
Yeah, it just drops. In a lot of ways, it's just something to remember. This is definitely more of a stylistic choice than it is about
Realism?
Realism. So it's how cool does it feel, or how hot does it feel? Either
it's
way.
weirdly attractive fire. I mean, what we can't really go too crazy.
No,
about it.
I mean overall, like I was saying, it's more of the stylistic choice. So I judge it based on the stylistic choice rather than it being realism, because there is a definite difference between the two.
Yeah.
So the base actually is really nicely done for the
Right.
speckling.
Focus. No, the mold line.
Oh.
Because I'm terrible at trying to get a thing on camera. Yeah. Oh, I love the base.
Yeah, the base is really
it's
cool.
rocks.
Yeah, rocks.
Makes me happy.
Rocks.
It's good rocks.
Rocks.
Yeah. Oh, man.
No, this looks great.
Yeah. Fire Lady bad.
Yeah, fire. She angry.
She a little upset.
The face just makes it for me.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Just mad face.
This thing.
Well, I do not trust myself with this thing. I am going to set this down
right.
and let Alex be the handler
right.
on this one.
Who painted the sea serpent?
Who painted the danger noodle?
I can't remember his name. He came in. He's an awesome dude. He did the hordes. He did that, and they did the mug too.
Oh, okay.
I have a picture of him.
Okay.
Well, that doesn't help.
That doesn't help.
It helps me.
Who
when
is
he's-
your
when he's-
face?
He's gaining his models from me. I know who he looks like.
Is this his mug shot? Look at that danger noodle.
If you guys know him, maybe.
Yeah, that's Death Corpse James.
There you go.
Because he wears
See?
a shirt that says
You
Death
wait-
Corpse on it.
Let's step back a second. He said, "I won't know him from his face."
He's wearing a shirt that says Death
black-
Corpse on it.
It doesn't say James on it.
Yeah,
though.
black magic. Hi, James.
James, all right.
There he is.
I'm gonna mark that down.
So James, everybody loves your hordes model.
Yes.
Everybody loves that hordes model.
He's the angriest.
the angriest boy.
Such a cool model too. Just like the sculpt on it, everything looks.
What else did he
super
enter?
cool. He did the mug too
He's a
mug, okay.
dice
as an open.
Oh,
Okay, so this other than the glue, other than it not being glued to its base, is super cool. The boat being broken in half, the colors of the boat, super well done.
up underneath the neck, there's a line where it,
Oh yeah, look at that right there, right there.
this
Nice
feels
line.
this is some Jormungandr level
Yeah.
of
I
shenaniganry.
love this model though. It's super cool.
Yeah.
The colors that you picked, the purple, like the grayish purple, the black, and the blue really do pop well.
Yes. Just like the seams are a little bit like if you could get a little putty or something to fill
Yeah.
those in, just to make it pop even more so.
Yeah,
But all in all,
that'd be kind of the thing that I would be able to say.
Yeah.
Dry brush. I can tell that you kind of dry brush too with these. Be careful with dry brushing on scales because you need to be more directional and have it be consistent along the entire thing. Because if you do splotches or areas, it's really easy to pick out with the eye for it. Something like up here on the face too.
Yep.
You can do, you can do like glow effects, but if you're, make sure that you're picking out a different thing from the scales to do a glow effect or some effect on it. I really like the eyes. The eyes really pop well. But
yeah, they do.
This eye is different than this eye. So make sure that you have the same consistency on eyes for color.
He fought Thor. That's why the eyes are different.
That's got to be it.
Got stabbed in the eye or something.
Yeah. Poor guy.
It's thick Thor.
Thick
too.
Thor. Yeah. So I mean, cool model. Excellent.
Yeah.
It's excellently. It's well
Base is
executed.
amazing. I love it.
So yeah, I mean, some extra highlights here and there would really help exemplify it. Going to the base, same kind of thing, because it's an all-encompassing thing. You want to have like the wood be more popping out. You definitely have the feeling of wet from it being kind of that gloss or that sealing, but you want to pick out like some of the breaking of wood, and you want to highlight some of those areas. You can start using some water effects if you want to make it feel more like water is splashing up in something. especially being that this thing be going down into the deeps. So
Going down.
So yeah, just highlighting some of those areas. The overall though, the model is freaking cool.
Yeah, super sweet.
Super cool. So yeah, the shields too. Having some extra little bits in the shields. An extra little bit of highlighting or extra layers because you can see the base tone underneath of it. So just something to keep in mind.
Bringing it up to the next level.
Gotta bring it up to that next level, yo. All right. So cool.
I think that's all the vehicle category.
Is that all of it?
I think so.
All right.
Now we got over to the big boys.
Yeah, we can do.
Let's do open.
We can do
Yeah.
open.
I love this too. Love it so much.
I want one of these.
So apparently it fits a beer or a cup or something.
Oh.
He was saying it's changed, so he was
Yeah, I know. You give yourself the thumbs up, buddy.
Yeah, right.
I would drink a lot of things out of this.
Mimic mug. Yeah.
A mugmic.
Mug. Ooh.
I got terrible puns for days. Don't worry about it.
All right. Oh, very cool. Very cool
it's
model.
so cool. The eyes, the way that you did them, make
Yeah.
them look like a fly's eyes.
Yeah, that's
Flies.
that's 3D print plus the Turbo Dork paint. It's an excellent choice for the Turbo Dork though.
Yeah, but it's crisp is
Yeah,
the biggest thing.
It is nice and
So
crisp.
there's just a little bit of overbleed on this
Mm-hmm.
one up here, but the rest of them it's set so well in there.
Yep. If you're gonna do teeth, make sure that you do your highlighting. Okay. If you're doing teeth, make sure you're highlighting those teeth. If you want them black, do it with a gray.
Yep.
If you want them, like a white, definitely add that white. You don't want to leave them just a flat black. So same with the mouth. The mouth is like painted pink. It's definitely pink, but you want to add like highlights and lowlights in there. The metallics are really cool. You can do the same. You want to have the separation of tones and colors overall, be able to help you pop it out.
The maw.
The maw. The wood is tricky.
It is.
because you can really add a lot of cool effects with wood. You can add like some moss. You can add a little bit of weathering effects on it. You can add dust. You can add mud. You can add all sorts of cool stuff with it. Popping some darker areas into the seams where it's being bound together would help kind of separate each panel
Yes.
to its own thing. So
Yeah, go in there with like either a darker brown or like an Agrax or something
Yeah.
just to wash it in there.
Yep.
Yeah, there's parts of it that I really like for the wood, and then there's some of it where it's just like it feels like it was just light paint.
Yep. Yep. So be careful with that. You don't.
Yes.
You definitely want to. If you're not getting the effect that you're wanting, you're wanting to go over it with a different paint, or wanting to, make sure that you're filling in those gaps, filling in those areas, so it doesn't lack.
Yeah, the rivets as well are
Yeah.
are a little not painted.
Yeah.
Some of them are more so painted. Like if you look at the ones in the back here, these guys down here in the bottom look more like a burnished copper, which fits. But then you kind of move over here, and they are missing either paint entirely, or aren't as pronounced as some of the other
Yep.
ones. Just something to look out for. Maybe do a couple of layers of that one. Maybe even just like a dry brush of a like one of the any number of paints for coppers. But all in all, I think
Yeah.
it's super cool.
I'd put a beer in that.
I would put a beer in a lot of different things, but this one definitely.
That's fair. Otherwise,
All right.
we got the small Sam.
We have a card too.
We have a card too. Which one do we want to do first?
Let's do a magic card. Let's
All right.
Sam's for the
That's-
last.
yeah, Sam's first.
So, this one.
Now, I'm not going to be able to speak too much to this because I don't typically play Magic, so I don't know anything about it other than, it's a cool looking card.
This is super creepy.
yeah, it is super creepy.
The Dreamborn Muse has been one of my favorite cards for the longest time, and this definitely kind of exemplifies the reason why I think it's super creepy.
Do we know who this is, by the way?
This is the Ghost Productions. Yeah, Tyler.
Tyler. Got it. Tyler. Sweet.
I love the colors on it. I think it's super fun.
Yeah.
The fact that you chose to go with a gray tone for it really just makes it pop. You're great at painting. You're great at drawing, man. I really like this. I think it's super cool.
Yeah.
Can't really offer too much stuff other than, you know, keep it in the borders of the card.
Yeah.
You can't go out of the lines of the Magic card because
Well,
they're super hard lines.
If you're gonna paint also like that, do the entire card. Or,
Yeah, make it a full art.
Yeah, do it a full art, or do it, block out the word. Do more stylistic choices with like the mana cost and like, having some of the information being able to
Right.
be displayed down here. Like you can border around it and
Yeah,
add it in.
work it into it and
Yeah.
basically just make it pop even more so.
Yeah.
Like either have the blue mana be like souls or something where
Yeah.
it's like kind of like has a tail off the top, or at the writing, either like when you paint over it, go and make it so that the writing is splotchy, like it's a H.P. Lovecraft novel, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just making it pop for the next little bit.
A little bit. Yeah,
Bring
I
it
like.
to the next level.
I really like it though. It's
Yeah,
unique.
it's super cool.
It's super unique.
I would use this in a Magic game.
Yeah,
if
when,
it
when you
wasn't-
asked if you could enter it in, I was like, yeah, sure. If you painted it, sure, why not? I don't know that I'm qualified to judge it.
No one's qualified. It's art.
All right.
How does it make you feel? Like it's art.
like it's art? So, last things last on
Sam's.
on the open category is Sam's. Sam's Bugbear.
Bugbear.
Smaller Sam.
I like the Bugbear.
This thing's so cool.
yeah,
You did
it's really cool.
the skin tones are super good. Same thing with your pumpkin dude. You can have a little bit of separation between the fur color and the skin tone. That'd be really good, but it does have enough separation. For this one at least. The wood is really cool.
I like that.
I like that too. I like the brighter wood.
Yeah, more like birch.
Yeah, not a lot of people do the lighter wood, so I like that. But having some additional separation, even a little line between the hand and the wood would help kind of show between the colors. The metallics are solid. But they could use an extra layer, an extra little bit of highlight or wash.
Yep.
To kind of
Even like
help
on
it
the
out.
edges right here too.
Yeah.
I think that would make it pop.
Yep.
A lot.
Yep. I love the color palette though. The face especially is really good.
Yep.
I
I like the face. The way that you did the tongue too really just
Yeah.
makes it pop.
Yeah.
The white teeth too just helps to pull in, make it look. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's screaming.
Yep. He's angry,
He's a little mad.
little man, liking that. So
Little pup set.
little upset. Loving it, Sam.
Yeah.
Excellent work.
Oh,
Keep it
yeah,
up.
Keep it up.
Yeah, I mean, things that you can do to kind of highlight, or you can add a little bit of weathering, a little bit of extra.
No. We got to keep Sam's for the last one.
We're just not going to do Titanic?
No, we're not
we
going to do Sam's Titanic.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about that Sam.
No.
There's too many
Small,
friggin' Sams.
Smaller Sam is doing
Yeah.
great here. But yeah, like something that you can do to kind of have as a next step would be really work on the metals.
Yep.
To either burnish them or add some patinas, add some rust, and even like really watered down orange paint will help kind of, you can put it up into the cracks or some of the areas to make it feel a little rusty. He's a bugbear. He's not supposed to be, he ain't no clean boy. So, I mean, use it to your, elevation or what you feel that you need. But I think that adding in some extra character to a model is always a good thing. So,
Yes.
again, thank you, Sam. Awesome work.
Okie dokie.
Okay.
We're over to the big boy category.
The biggins,
Yeah.
the big heckin' boys.
First off, we got Steve with his Chimkin.
Champion.
Zinch Chimkin. And of course, he actually did the base on this one rather than not doing it. Why is it so top heavy? Did Steve put something in this?
I don't think so.
Yeah, because it's like, feel
They're
this.
yeah.
It's a really top heavy model.
It's because of the wings.
Wow.
I've built one of these before, and they're just
sorry.
stupidly top heavy. Right off the bat, cool magical effects. Like it feels zinchy. It
Yeah.
is super creepy in all the right ways. Like that floating bit.
Yeah, that'll take time, Sam.
Yeah,
Don't
that'll
worry
take
about
time.
it.
Don't worry about it. The blue on the wings just pops. Bert, you did miss yours. Well, we still have to do your Orc Knight, so there's that.
Yep.
We judged everything else of yours, and you can review that at your leisure when this gets posted online, and
Yes.
we'll make fun of you in person as well.
We will also make fun of you in person.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
The Nurgle's Rot or color palette on this thing is so unique.
It's really neat.
It makes me uncomfortable.
It feels like a Skeksis
It
from
really-
Dark Crystal.
Yeah, that's actually
Yeah.
yeah, it does. It does. It has that vibe.
Like he's summoning this out of
Yeah.
it. He's got. Does he usually have a right hand on a left hand arm?
Yep.
Just it's so wonky.
Yep.
And
It's very
I love
Zinchi.
it. One thing that I could say, Steve, is the scroll down here. You don't have any paint on it. It's just white.
Yeah, there's some areas like this scroll.
Yeah.
You know.
The Grundle too is just like it's the a little bit that way. Yeah. So it's like just not pronounced enough. I think you could definitely do some more stuff. I feel like this is a great start to the model. Just taking it to tagline the next step is really going to be key. But the staff is amazing. I really like the staff, especially how the copper down here on the bottom.
Yeah.
It's burnished.
It's nice and patinaed.
It feels.
So is this one.
Yeah. It feels like a wizard staff.
Yep.
Also, something that I wanted to point out on the back of the book, he and I talked a lot about how to do.
I'm trying to get it.
Yeah,
It's really a hard spot.
there we go. He and I were talking really, really in depth about it, but we were trying to figure out a good way to do. I mean, I offered a little bit of criticism on this one. How to make it look like the Necronomicon from the Evil Dead.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah,
I
so
can see
going
it.
into the color choices for it was super fun and like, hey, so rock and roll for this one. Yeah, Liam, there's the stream, you nerd.
It's been almost 3 hours.
Yeah, we're going on quarter to
Yeah.
forever now. Have fun.
Yeah, it is really cool. I love the effect that it has on it.
Yeah.
I will say, adding some like writing in here would exemplify it a lot. The cloak itself, or I'm sorry, the loincloth that he has between here is just a flat green.
You know
and-
what'd be kind of cool for the book?
And it needs a little bit more. Yeah. What?
Backwards writing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's creepy enough where it
Yeah.
use it. On the legs here, adding in the nails.
Yeah.
Doing nail color instead of against the feet would really help. So it's just, this is a really, like, I'd almost say this is right in the middle of where I'd want to be for doing a paint job like this. Just bringing up those small details would help a lot.
Yes.
So, yeah, excellent Chimkin.
He's a good looking chimkin. Okay. Do we want to do the Baneblade? I like Baneblade. We'll do
Baneblade.
Bert's Knight.
Bert's Knight.
What do you want to do?
Let's do Bert's Knight. Yeah. The Orc Furion. I feel like we should probably have a different camera for this one. Bert, I promise not to drop it. I promise. It's my baby.
Bert, I have a lot of things to say about this knight. That's all I
He
gotta say.
has a lot of feelings
I
about
don't know,
this.
I don't know if you know,
Can't go
but
back any farther.
Yeah.
I've painted a fair bit of knights.
Well, you
Big
would-
Chungus. Yes.
The heckin' chung.
The base is wood, by the way.
Yeah, no, that is a heckin' base.
He is a thick boy.
It is a thick.
Like, I feel like I'm holding a baby.
Hashtag thickums. I don't want to see me.
Well, yeah, show that you can see.
Yeah,
the
look at
whole
this
model.
thing. It's huge.
I'm a big boy. That's a big boy.
Here. The dew.
This is next to
The
next
dew
to
for
Voodoo.
size there.
He's
Yeah.
a monster.
Yeah,
It's huge.
heckin' thick boy.
This thing's monstrous. It is a Porphyrion. It is an actual Porphyrion.
Boy, he thick. Yes, he
Thick with a Q.
Ooh.
Right?
That's how you get harder than C's. It's straight to Q's.
You got to go to the Q's, man.
Oof.
It's the only way to do it. So,
Time to tear Bird a new one.
yeah. Of course, with Bert, Bert's well known for his modifications and customizations of orc models and destroying and laying waste to every knight model that I've ever seen him touch.
He's got pinchy claws.
He's got pinchy claws. I love those claws. They're so cool. I mean, what's good about the knight? Nothing.
It's a knight.
It's a knight. It looks great. I mean, the model itself is well defined for the universe that it sits in. The basing definitely shows up onto the model itself. There's a nice amount of physical destruction on the model.
Yeah, I like the plates on the thighs.
Yep, they're all broken up, and there's like like on the shoulder piece over here, it's broken up.
Yeah.
You know, on the top here, there's a freehand symbol of an orc on this. You gotta pull it up. Yeah, right there. That's all freehand. Like, especially the color palette too is really cool because there's there's this blue that really pops against the yellow and red of the model itself. The green glowing eyes and lenses also lend themselves to really popping out. As always with Bert's stuff, his checkerboards are top notch. I love them.
Immaculate.
So I mean, from the standpoint of like, how can I pick this thing apart? It's a top-notch model. It's super well done.
Well,
I will say that there's a little bit of cleanup that needs to happen with some of the metallics, especially in here. There's some points that I don't think you can see it on camera necessarily, but
no,
maybe no. The consistency of the rust effect as well should be either in metallic points or if it's for the basing and like having a different color for the basing for the rust, so that it actually feels like it's rust versus dust from the world.
I know you and I had talked a lot on the guns. That's really exemplified.
Yep.
Because it's like kind of splotchy on the guns.
Yep.
But then on, I like it how the rust effects on the vents up on top.
Yeah, the vents especially look really cool with it. So it's well done in the vents. The horns are really cool.
But they feel like they're, the bottom half of the horn over here is amazing. Then you get to the rest of the horn, it's kind of just like, okay.
Yeah, no, I can see it. Where the blending needs to be less stepped up and more blended overall. I really want this to pop more.
Yeah.
I know it wouldn't be, it doesn't match the rest of the yellows, but having something where it's a focal point where I'm focusing my eye to it would be really cool.
Yes.
So
I agree.
The weathering effects are very much so within. I mean, you put this on the rest of Bert's models, and they look exactly the same.
I'm gonna put this boy down. He's heavy.
For the chipping effect on all of Bert's models are just fantastic in that way. They all look consistent. Like you throw this down with the rest of them, oh man, they look awesome against each other. So
my one problem with it. The base isn't flat.
That's. I'm not gonna pick on him for that.
I am.
Whatever.
Treat your wood, boy.
God.
Sandpaper.
The back of this thing is really cool too. I also like that you ripped off where the missile pod normally comes out right here. You like broke it. It's great.
Orky, it fits.
It is orky and it fits. And back here, like the metals
patina.
the metals actually feel like they're kind of worn.
Like the joints are little.
Yeah, but the joints are
they feel oily, but like burnished oil.
Yeah, they're really cool for that. I'm down. So excellent work overall.
Yeah,
I love it.
You did very good on the thickums.
Yeah, physical damaging something physically versus damaging something with paint is a completely different art, and it gets scary fast when you're like, I'm gonna break my model that I spent money on.
Honestly, I've thought about taking like a tank out to the shooting range and with like a 22 or something,
just putting a bullet through it,
putting a couple of bullets through it. Like, yeah, this fits.
Here, actually, put this on the table so we can get it out of the way. Thank you. Maybe. If you hear breaking in the background, Bert, it's not your brother, I promise.
We need like a shattering effect.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay,
Oof.
since Sam is apparently still watching, we're not going to do his next.
Oof. Beanie Blade.
Baneblade. I love Baneblades.
Cadia stands.
Cadia stands.
Who did this one?
This was Chris, or what was the other?
Chris.
Yeah, Chris. Chris has a super fancy Baneblade, and dude, like the faces on the crewmen is just bonkers cool. The headlights, Like, dude, stop showing off.
It's terrible.
Yeah. Look at this. Look at the headlight.
No, I mean, the lighting, the glow effect, or not the glow effects, the lighting, the refraction from like glass.
Yeah.
Is really well done.
Would you stop showing off? This is just super cool.
I mean, this is the review on this is going to be basically the same as what I had
It's
on the other
the other
one.
tank,
It is the other tank. You know,
I mean, even down to the fact that you didn't do the bottom. Like,
yeah, like all the
toolbox.
Yeah, the toolbox, all the little effects on
bits.
these are really good. Hey, but these didn't have you drill them out. You had them. Together.
You gotta, on all 180,000 rivets.
Yeah,
Yes.
I've done this to a Baneblade before. It sucks.
It's terrible, man.
I will say props to you for actually painting the inside of the wheels versus and then putting it on the track. So ooh,
It's magnetized.
uh-huh.
You did it right.
Is it magnetized?
It is actually.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Got
I was
scared.
like, smash. Oh, okay.
The weathering for the burn effect on the stubber, the effect of the
It's got a hunter killer missile on here.
where
Right here.
Oh, okay, yeah, nice. Okay, cool.
It's 5 points worth of goodies.
Now I will say, like something like the ladder on the side, you could have picked out. It can be the same color as the rest of the model. However, you could have painted it. You could have gone with metallic. If you're going to do that though, if you're going to paint it the same color as the rest of the model, I would actually say do some dry brushing or some chipping effects on it so that people are getting up and down on it all the time. So it's going to chip off all that paint. It'll have wear and tear over time. That'll really make it stand out. Same thing with on mold lines. Again, fill it in, that kind of thing.
Man, those are barrels. They got mold lines.
They have barrels.
You're a barrel.
Barrel of fun.
Barrel of laughs, maybe.
Yeah, like overall, it's the same critiques that I had on the other tank.
It's got kill markings. He did all
yeah.
the stuff on the back. Yeah, it's basically the same.
Yeah, it's basically the same critiques that I had before.
Yes.
If I saw it on the table, I'd be very pleased.
I would also be very pleased. This belongs in like competitive play games.
It definitely does.
Because you'll school everybody. Okay.
Excellent work.
Well, that's it.
Yeah, so it's been real, guys.
It's been a real piece.
Yeah. All right. No, we have one more model.
I don't want to
one
go
more.
over and get it because it's too tall and spindly, but I'm going to.
You're gonna do it. It's gonna be great. I believe in you.
We'll spike it like a football, Sam, just for you.
Sam, are you still watching? Are you still here? Buddy Sam? Sam boy? Sam boy?
Slamwise Gamgee.
Slamwise Gamgee.
Go easy on the nice mold lines. No, of course
No.
we're not going to.
Nope.
You can't crap
Listen, I
me
paint
fast.
I paint knights as like a professional hobby.
Yeah,
it's
he
it's
does.
a real problem, and I have all the judgment against knights.
It's a serious problem. You
It's-
can go ahead and handle the night.
God,
Handle Sam's night.
handling the night. Okay. So first off, loving the green and the copper tones against each other. Super cool for it.
It's gross.
Really like that. I really hope this is pinned. It's not pinned. It's not pinned. Oh shit. It's not pinned. Okay, we're gonna do
Why is it not pinned,
It's
Sam?
not pinned, yo. Trusting super glue with this kind of thing. Ooh, scary.
Bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see
bold.
if it pays off.
The green is really good. The decal work is really well done. Actually, there are some points where you can, when the light shifts, you can actually see where the film is. So you want to be careful with that. Getting something like a micro sole will really help with that. The freehand, the wording. I haven't gotten to that point yet.
No, but I'm touching for you.
The freehand. There's freehand on this. Your dog is everywhere. It's awesome. So yeah, I mean, like you did really well.
Because I'm smart and I'm still not smart.
There's wording on the face. It says like Calypso and things.
So, X.
Excellis?
X-Lax?
X-Lax?
X-Lax.
So the shield up here, So the glow effect.
Is it the left pectoral?
So my secret with decals is I lay down a layer of gloss varnish, and then I will put the decal down on top of that after it's dry, because then you even out the entire surface of whatever you're putting it down on. And then you put down the decal. You put the
Dork.
the dork. No, it
Calypso and Aeternum Excelsis Gloria. Dork.
Calypso and Eternal.
What does that mean in freedom
excellent-
speech?
Excellent, glorious, eternal. Something along those lines.
I don't like that in freedom speech.
Anyway, so I put down. There's a product that they make called Micro Sol, which actually softens the decal, and then it adheres to the surface. Calypso to eternity, the highest of glory. Yeah. Okay. Nice. Calypso's his dog. This is.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
That works.
do that 2 or 3 times with the Microsol, and then after that's all done, then seal it again with gloss varnish, and it'll look like it's painted on. It's great stuff.
Yes.
The shield, this glow effect in the shield, really cool.
Yeah, that pops.
Well done.
Also on the spear, like if you would have gone and did a little bit of the metallics underneath it first, and then go over the top, that'll really make it pop.
Yep. Yeah, having something like that popping out would be great.
That's awesome, man. I like that.
Yeah. I like that. I like that as well.
It's a good story.
It's a good testament.
It's a tale.
Yep. With resin having bent, because I can see that this is bent, you can use hot water and straighten it back out. So just be aware of that.
You can also use rods.
You can also use rods. It's a little bit difficult to like drill into it and then get it back together, but it can be done. Hot water will work really well for smaller things like this area back here. So, yeah, I mean, overall though, going into some more critiques and things, cleaning up, sanding down the, especially when you start getting into recast land, if they mismatch the molds, it can create some really bad things, like scraping this out. I'm not even getting to the point where you can see it. Scraping out on the legs and things like that will help out a lot.
You'll get there eventually.
Yeah. Using sandpaper is really your best friend when it comes to it. Low and slow is kind of the easiest way to get through a resin model, because they suck to clean, honestly.
Yeah.
So don't beat yourself too much out of it. It's just, especially with some recasters, they can be really rough. I will say, if you're going to paint the front of your tabard, paint the back of your tabard. Having a flat back just doesn't, it needs that extra step up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really enjoy this model.
I love the Rhino.
Yeah, the Rhino. Dude, this Rhino is super cool.
Yeah.
The lightning effect all along it.
The metal on the front too. Yep. The blood for the blood god over it. Just.
Yep. I will say, if
damage too.
Yep, battle damage on here, physical battle damage. I will say that you will want to make sure that you add an extra layer.
No cussies.
Hey, Blade Peacock, thank you for subscribing with Prime.
You're the best.
Whoa.
We really appreciate you. I will say that adding an extra layer on here of the red, also having like the yellow here, it just feels like it's kind of placed. You definitely want to put it either it's on, which is fine, but if it's not on, you would definitely want to put the it's not focusing that well. Yeah. You definitely want to put like silver on top, because it's in that cage. In addition, painting some of the wires here helps kind of put it in place, place it in the universe. So
it's a girder.
Yeah. So, but excellent. I think that's all we had. Yeah?
That is
it. Wow.
All she wrote.
3 hours
later.
later.
Only took 3 hours and 3 minutes to get through all this stuff.
I really appreciate everyone putting in the effort and time into this first painting competition. So I know that we're going to be trying to kind of pull some ideas back. So if you have some ideas and plans that you want to put in place, please bring them up.
Yeah.
Here, I'll actually drag this down.
Some big boys.
Oh no, this is the highlight.
Yeah.
I think I have to go to capture. There we go.
I don't use Google Photoshop, so
it's a stream. All right, so we're done.
Yeah, we just got wrapped up.
All right.
You can see my double chins and all of its immaculate glory.
Good job, everybody. So yeah, like I said, feedback is always welcome. We're definitely wanting to improve this. There was talk about doing.
We just did Titanic, James.
Yeah, we just did Titanic.
You have a Titanic in there?
This is all the models.
Oh no, the Diamond Boy.
The Diamond Boy.
What? He was looking at it, and then all of a sudden he pulled it off.
Actually, it's funny. We pulled this
What a
aside, Tyler and I. And watch your mouth, young blood.
away.
I said dork.
We just pulled it aside because we just bought a bunch of Hordes models online.
Oh god, he's so big.
Why would you bring up such a dead game?
Oh my god, I want it for the models alone for D&D.
Oh yeah, no,
This
the models
right here, this model is like, we're going to build a campaign around an ice giant, and that's the guy.
We actually used a War Machine model for one of Jacob's characters, actually. So.
Yeah, Archimedes.
Archimedes.
Uppies.
Archimedes.
Scandal. Oh, hey, by the way, real quick, I got Malifaux stuff for CJ and a couple other folks that are probably not in there. But CJ, I got your Karis box, so.
Ooh.
Just came in.
Come get you some
Shiny.
Malifaux, play with them cards.
Shiny models.
Hold for red jokers, not black jokers.
So everyone and their brother has been talking about this model whenever they see it. So
Yeah,
it's always fun.
literally everybody. And
Everybody.
I've been super excited and happy to see
Yeah,
it.
it's super cool. The skin tones are excellent. The snow effect is really fun.
There's one spot in there where there's a
Yeah.
little bleed over from the brown. It's
ruined.
Not game
all
breaking.
ruined. Just overall the look and feel of this model is really cool. It stands apart because the skin tone and then the ice effect is really well done. There are things that could be improved on. Having the same tones of ice to the side ones can be one thing.
I actually kind of like it where
I mean,
it's a
that's
different tone
fair.
choice.
It's definitely consistent throughout though.
So what it kind of pulls in for me is that these are older ice crystal formations.
Okay.
And then these ones are new ones because he's punching people in the face.
That's a fair point. I can see that.
They got a break.
Yeah. Just with everything that we've been talking about too, just an extra little layer of highlighting goes a long way.
One on the eyes, maybe just like the next layer.
Yeah.
Up.
Same with like the fur. You can definitely pop the fur out. The nails. The nails are a big component of this model.
Yeah.
So having some extra highlight or extra grunge underneath of it would be really cool. Just to kind of exemplify those points. So
No, super fun, dude.
yeah, super cool.
I love this model.
The snow effect is really well done. I like it. It's kind of static for me, especially on the top of this guy.
Yeah.
But it's really it meshes well with the rest of the model, and it's universal to it, so it stays within the universe for it.
That base dough.
That base dope.
That base
Yep,
is
that base is
sexy.
cool.
You guys know the those villages you put up for Christmas time and stuff?
Yeah.
Now I want one of these like
Ooh.
attacking my village.
That'd be hilarious. I love the glow. I didn't
Yeah.
even see this before. The glow on the horns in the back is
Neon.
very vivid. It's very well done.
There's a mold line.
Oh no, mold line. It's all done now.
That's another thing. Probably a little bit more detail on that bear on the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If there were just like a little bit more
didn't know it was
detail
a
on the
bear
bear,
till right now.
and also there's like on the inside of the bear, it's not painted. Can you
Oh,
kinda
yeah.
see it
But
Yeah,
inside?
you can
it's
see it.
kind of nice because it blends in because there's a lot of white to the base.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it kind of
It's
such
Snow
a
Bear.
cool model.
Snow bear.
It is.
But yeah, like just some small things that can really exemplify it, I think is really what I'm getting after. So yeah, the skin is really cool.
Yeah.
So
Even like maybe a little bit more so on the bones too. Make
Yeah.
a little bit more definition there.
Yeah.
Kind of do what you did on the
horns.
tusks,
Yeah.
but do it here.
I still think for me it's the nails that really pop out for me that need a little bit of that extra bit.
Yeah, I think that would be worth it. But trust me, I get
Yeah,
it.
the toenails and the fingernails are slightly different too. So, and
It's
I
the
get
same
it.
thing in backwards. The toenails are older, but the fingernails are newer.
Yeah, but the fingernails should be.
His
whiter.
fingernails come off every time he touches something.
They just snaps them off.
Yep. Just digging into.
I don't want to die too.
Yeah.
No wonder he's mad.
Ooh.
It's
no wonder he's
yeah,
upset.
no, excellent model.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Seriously, thanks guys, everybody, for going through and hopping on and doing painting competitions. We love it. I know Alex and I really love doing, judging for it and seeing what everyone's putting up and offering critiques and criticism and saying, hey, you paint cool stuff.
Here, I'm gonna
Paint cooler stuff.
bring us back. So as always, if you have any questions or comments about this, you can even say you hate us. That's fine. Let us know. Maybe we can get out a survey.
Slide
after
into
this,
the
too.
DMs.
I can always whip up a survey and send
Alex
it out.
is he's gonna be whipping up a lot of fun electronic stuff for us. So
He's a tech boy.
I'm known to do a thing
awesome.
or two.
I really appreciate it.
It's a couple.
So
If you were an orc, you'd be a weird boy.
yeah, I would be.
He'd be a mech
Really cool.
boy. A weird mech boy.
A weird mech boy. But yeah, I'm hoping that we can kind of separate things out.
Tech Tony.
Get some kids in here for doing like young blood stuff, separating out so that we can have really professional painters versus other professional painters, and then have like amateur painters going into it and awarding people up the ranks so that they can that there's progress and there's progression overall. And bringing up the hobby overall, I think that's the best thing.
And I think in between, sorry, Jacob. In
It's okay. I gotta give Liam crap, so.
In between now and the next paint competition, I think the three of us should put models in that case, and everybody gets to vote on those.
Oh, I plan to.
That'd be fun.
I gotta beat Alex at something. Also, Liam, you play Lannisters, so judgment.
Yeah, so I mean, just having some different paint competitions. I know we're having one. The next one will be in Q1. I don't know when in Q1, but it'll be well yelled out. We're gonna have the website up for the Dwarven Axe here soon. So watch the Discord, watch everything for that. It'll be an actual website for it with this year's winners and models and things. So it'll be good.
And then tomorrow we'll let everyone know what the winners are. We'll
Yep.
put it in Discord, Facebook. We'll probably do some type of video, and then you can collect models starting today.
Yep.
I'm gonna keep them in the back room here. So if you have your models, bring your ID. I want a DNA test, and
Hush.
and it costs $15 to get your mini back.
Your last four of your social, your credit card number.
Yeah, the first and last name of your mother.
I thank God
Birth mother's
everyone
maiden
here.
name.
Yeah.
Besides the Tyranid, that's the only one I don't know who that is.
Yeah, who? Oh,
I have the
when is
Dune Crawler.
Halloween competition?
Well, we were going to do more, but there's only 2 entries. So
Yeah.
so we
They
kind
win.
of just flipped it into this.
You won.
Smaller Sam, you won.
Yeah.
You won.
Also,
you won the
And
Ghost
yeah, Tyler and
Productions.
Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
Tyler and
guys
Sam, you
won
guys
the
crushed it.
Halloween contest.
One of you won best Halloween monster, and one of you won best Halloween character.
Nice.
Nice job.
Good
You've done
job!
it.
Yay!
Nice work. Hey.
Yeah,
Excellent.
if there was more entries, I definitely would be like 100%
Let's judge
on it.
this.
But the other thing too is this was the first one, so going forward, there's going to be a lot more competition too, because it's going to be a lot more. It's just going to be a lot more. Basically posts on Facebook, Instagram. There's gonna be a lot more people gonna be joining this next one, and it's gonna be a lot more organized. I'm juggling a lot of stuff. So right now we got these guys. I got Tyler. I got a bunch of people that are coming in and helping out and stepping up and like really gonna make everything a lot smoother, a lot easier, and a lot more organized. So this was our first one. Going forward, it's gonna be a lot more smoother, and probably on your side it was really smooth, but on my side
It was absolute chaos.
just been
running
it's been-
circles.
yeah, like today I was in here for maybe 45 minutes the whole time.
No, we could tell. We could tell.
So
We figured.
Yeah.
but I really appreciate you guys stepping up and doing all this stuff. Tyler, I appreciate you the most. You know,
Wow.
He's
Wow.
over here just like, oh, not even care.
Man, we're getting thrown under the bus here.
Yep.
Yeah, Jacob, Alex, I really appreciate you guys doing this. This is awesome. And then so this is basically what's gonna happen. We got $10 to the winners of each category, and then $25 for best in show. If you win a category in your best in show, you get replaced by second place, basically, so that you can't win 2 categories.
Yep.
And then everyone who entered who didn't win can come claim a paint pot. So when you come claim your miniature, you can come get a paint pot.
Yay.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Pot
And
of
if you
paint.
want to do
Pot of paint.
whatever you want, you don't have to do Citadel if you don't want to. You can do whatever paints you want. So
Citadel paint's the most expensive, so definitely want to do those.
Yeah, contrast. Grab yourself a contrast.
Yeah.
for a wash.
there's Nuln Oil. Don't
Make it
don't
worth
go
it.
don't go too rough on those Nuln Oils, guys. I only got like 4 more.
Oh, so many notes. Hey,
Bash down the door.
speaking of other stuff that's going on,
Oh,
Bert,
no.
what do we want to do for streamings for this upcoming week?
What do you mean?
Warhammer Wednesday. We're doing Warhammer Wednesday.
Yeah, so Bobby and Mark are going to be basically saying what they're going to be doing with their campaign, their Crusade campaign, and then Jacob and Steven, whatever you guys plan on doing for, I don't know if you guys are working together or what.
We'll figure something out.
And then what is our schedule for RTTs? Do we have
the next one is going to be October 13th, which is going to be a week before Renegade.
November 13th?
No, November.
November
not
13th.
October. History, past RTTs.
October 2022.
So October 13th is the next RTT here, and then the Renegade Open is running from the 19th, 20th, and 21st down in Roseville. Make sure you sign up for that because we're both going to be there. I'm running the Renegade Friendly. So
I'll be running War Crimes in the competitive
in the
side.
competitive.
The 300 conscript scoper.
The Friendly is a great place to start and kind of kick back and have some good times. It's a lower point value. It's a very unique, very custom organization of your list. So come down, drink beer, have fun, that kind of thing.
Honestly,
Thank you, Liam.
Yeah, the Friendly is just super fun.
Yeah,
man, it's
all
one of those
custom members or custom missions and things.
custom membership.
Custom membership.
So it's a lot going on. All this stuff is going to be down. I'm talking to a guy tomorrow. We're going to get the website all hooked up. So all the events are going to be on the website. We're going to put them in Discord. We're going to do everything. So it's just going to get much more organized from here on out. So it's not just one stream today. Hey, this is what's going on, and then that's it. So we'll actually get everything written down on somewhere for everyone to take a look at. So
hoping to get a calendar or something up there.
Yep,
too.
exactly. Alex is going to be doing a bunch of behind the scenes stuff to get things going. So
Warhammer Wednesday at 7:00. 7 o'clock.
Perfect. Cool.
We got a time set.
Awesome.
All right. Cool stuff. Yeah. Yep. No winners announced until tomorrow, so be ready for them winners.
Be there, be square.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Awesome.
you can pick up your model starting now.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Take care. Have a
Thanks.
good one.